This week, we reminisce. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for our last episode of Cream of the Crowd podcast for the year. Obviously, it's only 12/17, but with Christmas and New Year's conveniently both falling on a Sunday, we will be spending time obviously with our families and such. So we will be wrapping up this podcast for the year. And in doing that, I wanted to give a big shout out to everybody watching that has helped us along this journey. It's been really cool to get together and do this. And we had talked about doing this for such a long time, and being able to sit with these guys most every Sunday and do this has been a lot of fun. We do hope you enjoy the episode tonight. It is going to be a little different. I know you're used to probably the weekly recaps as we do. We are not doing that tonight. It's completely different, and this is Porto's baby tonight.
Hey,
this is what he
mixed kids.
I guess if this is gonna be the last podcast of the year, we might as well make it the last one ever. But no, we'll be doing some funny kind of reminiscence stuff based on things we've enjoyed from the year. But before we get into that, I couldn't not do this for the last podcast of the year. We're obviously going to end this year with the first thing we started this podcast with. We are going to do This Week in Geek. It's been a pretty relaxed few weeks, so I did kind of have to dive a bit for some gaming news, since the latter half of this is going to be pretty heavy on the wrestling. But to start, for us Dragon Ball Z nerds, if you've not seen the last few weeks, they dropped the first trailer for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. Is it 4 or is it just the...
Okay.
Is it Sparkling Zero? Is it 4?
Full context, because this one confused a lot of people. The Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series is something that is only in English. In the original Japanese, it is called Sparking, like Sparking Neo, Sparking Burst, stuff like that. That's the original name of the video game series. So they're using the original name across the board.
Okay.
So we have Sparking Zero as the new release.
But in context for English, this is Tenkaichi 4.
Yes.
But I like that the English version went with a more Japanese name, and the Japanese
went with a more English.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. So that is the official name is Sparking Zero.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, but they released I think it was Goku and Vegeta trailer. It looks great. I have seen some leaks some leaks of the cast for the game, and it looks like it's gonna be a pretty hefty cast of characters.
145 was the speculated number.
Yeah, and see, I've only seen probably half of that.
Yeah,
because I saw it was majority of the people from like the Frieza Cell saga. I didn't see many from the Buu, but there's really inherently only like
you just have Kid Buu.
Buu, all the versions of Buu, Hercule.
Hercule will be Cell too.
Is Hercule in Cell?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, he is. Yeah, that's right. It's been a while since I've seen
Cell games.
That's
so
right.
It would be the 3 different Buus, maybe 4.
I feel like Buu is just gonna be one character. No, 3. You have Fat Buu, Kid Buu, and Super Buu, who has transformations.
Yeah.
Gotenks. Gotenks. Videl.
That's how you have Videl.
Yeah, Hercules.
Because unfortunately, a lot of these characters are just different versions of like the same character.
Supreme Kai. And
you have the Kais probably won't be because they don't really fight. But then you have your newer characters, your Jirins. A lot of characters from the Tournament of Power.
I did see that they were adding. It looked like adding characters from GT though too.
Yeah, GT is also GT. You can't go wrong. You have Kid Goku, GT Vegeta.
Quite a few times in GT.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has to be in that game.
I did see Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so I mean it wouldn't be far off.
Even though technically not canon anymore.
But according to Steam page, also being introduced into the game. Um, Characters from Dragon Ball Daima, if anyone knows about that, that is the one where Goku, Vegeta, and the rest of the gang are shrunk down to little kids. It's a web series that's going to come out later next year. It's fucking A.
Hey yo.
I don't know, but the trailer, a lot of people kind of shitted on it because they want Super Season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, big anime fan right here. But fun fact, a lot of the manga exclusive characters that have been introduced over the years are not going to be in this game, upon speculation leaks, which further divides the whole thing of manga not being converted into an anime no time soon.
Yeah.
It's because the manga rights and the anime rights are owned by two separate companies. Fun fact.
Yeah, so I do remember that was a big reason a lot of the issues with it coming out were.
Yeah.
But there's no release date yet. I mean, yeah,
release year of 2024.
it's like, did they give a year? I couldn't remember.
I give it winter of 2024.
Like, okay, when you
Christmas
say
time.
okay, that's what I wanted to
I
figure.
give it late November.
Yeah, that's
December.
what because that's how I feel like they're gonna do with the next topic we have to talk about. But yeah, I'd imagine this would be a big Christmas game, so I would imagine early November, maybe Thanksgiving November. That way at least you could get it in before the Christmas season, because it's dropping for PS5, the new Xboxes, and PC. So I will not make the same mistake I made with Mortal Kombat and look for a PlayStation 4 copy. God, that GameStop guy looked at me really weird when I asked him. I was like, "Yeah, I just take it on PS4." Will you?
Motherfucker, what?
Are you sure?
We don't have that.
And then so transition into a game that's coming out in 2 months. James Gunn was talking about Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, because that comes out in February 2nd, I think, or 7th. I can't remember.
It's February at some point.
But kind of speculating that this won't be the last Arkham verse game. Not of course admitting what it would be. There's a lot of talks of what it could be. I know Porto has discussed what was it, a Superman game they were trying to.
Yeah. The original pitch that that Rocksteady Studios wanted to do was a Superman game, but it turned into what we now have is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Another pitch that was given was a Batman Arkham Beyond, which would be really cool. A young Damian Wayne, which honestly I don't know how they would do it.
I would still, if they're gonna do a Beyond, I would rather just be Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, saying that now makes no sense because Damian shouldn't exist.
Yeah, in Arkhamverse, technically.
Talia died.
Yeah.
In Arkham City. Spoiler for that game.
Yeah. You haven't played Arkham City at this point. That's kind of on you.
Unless she was pregnant before and they kept it under wraps, and then he grew up with Bruce mysteriously gone. But also, a big thing about just thinking about it, I wouldn't want the Arkhamverse to continue. Because it starts with Batman, and if you're gonna make the Arkhamverse and you can't have Batman just be around because Kevin Conroy has unfortunately passed away, then what's the point? You might as well just start new.
Yeah, but I could even as great as Kevin Conroy is, and I'll to this day he will always be the voice of Batman. I mean, you can recast a voice, or you can. I mean, hell, the way AI is nowadays.
Yeah, but it just won't feel the same.
It won't.
At that point, people will say, "Hey, we don't want this."
Yeah,
because Suicide Squad has been advertised as Kevin Conroy's last appearance as Batman.
Yeah, but see, I can't imagine that people wouldn't want a game series solely based on the fact they couldn't get Conroy as the voice. But
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, but I know they talk about. It's kind of the other speculation is that they're going to reboot the Arkhamverse.
Then at that point, why do it? Just make a new series of games.
That's what I was going to say. Just do a reset and start over. If you're going to have a new voice and you're going to have new whatever. Like, just do it that way instead of
Because
having
at first, wasn't James Gunn big announcement that most of the voices would carry over between movies, series, animated series, and games?
I just
So
can't
instead
imagine
of just
that'll
doing an
actually be the
arc,
case.
it won't. But that's what he said. Instead of doing the Arkham-verse, just continue the game. Just do like, oh, the guy from Superman Legacy. Let's do a game based on what he would do in the meantime between this movie and that movie. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I wouldn't want a.
Bring back the movie tie-in games. Fuck it.
I wouldn't want a remake of the series. I would be fine if they wanted to just start anew. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I think if you just want the Arkham series out there, remaster them again, just make them look better on new gen. If you're gonna go to that route, I would much rather them just start over and tell a different story. You could still involve Joker and all that stuff. Don't make it exact, but oh yeah, well he's already said that as long as Kevin Conroy's couldn't do it, once he passed, he wasn't gonna do it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is another shame, but I get it. I find it very respectful, so I do understand. But yeah, I'll be interested to see. I want a Green Arrow game. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Kind of almost like Tomb Raider-ish.
Yeah. Fun fact. Speaking of Green Arrow, just a random tidbit. I forgot his name.
We know Stephen Amell's trash. It's fine.
No, not. I have his signature on my wall right now. Fuck off. No, he's playing a character in Rebel Moon. He's, I think, one of the leads.
Yeah.
In Zack Snyder's new movie. Apparently, he was offered the spot of Green Arrow and just said he didn't want to do it because he didn't know who the fuck Green Arrow was, and he didn't want to wear spandex.
Huh.
It's like, it's kind of odd that you still worked for Zack Snyder though.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing.
He's one of those. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever. Because I do think he's a genuinely good actor. He's not A-list by any means, but a good actor nonetheless. I just don't think he'll ever be in anything else.
Oh, Stephen Amell?
Yeah.
Yeah, after the whole what's it called got canceled.
Unless he goes back and does like a Green Arrow of some sort, which I think he would be fine as Green Arrow in movies. I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
The same way that I was fine with, I would have rather had what was Flash's name in the scene?
Ezra Miller?
No, the good one. Yeah. I would have, although not comic accurate whatsoever, I would have rather had him than Ezra Miller.
Oh, we've never got a comic accurate fucking Flash.
Yeah, you know why? Because none of them are fucking blonde. That's like the start of it, is none of them have the right fucking hair color.
Or ginger.
Well, I guess, yeah, to some degree.
Wally West is my Flash. Bored. He has no idea.
You bunch of fucking nerds.
Charlie Hunnam.
No, I just haven't watched. Oh, no, I just haven't watched the Flash. I've caught like bits and pieces of it, but I didn't know.
It's like 3 good seasons, and then it goes to what the fuck very quickly.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot of
the CW stuff.
That's CW's thing.
You start so strong, and then they just don't know where to go after 3 seasons.
Jump off a cliff.
Yeah, it's
You're not the Flash, Barry. We are. Okay.
It's like, all right, sure.
When this tidal wave comes.
And then, so the last bit this week is GTA 6. I know Alas was super excited about this. I'm excited about it too. They released a 90-second trailer, which was a bit underwhelming in the amount of time that I was kind of hoping for it, but I get it. Was there actually any gameplay in this trailer, or was it all just like cutscene trailers?
Yeah,
graphics look good.
Well, yeah, but here's to be devil's advocate. It's easy to make trailer cutscene graphics look good.
I'm just hoping the game looks.
I would be fine if it looks like GTA 5. I'm fine with, because I think GTA 5 looks good.
The thing is, people from Rockstar have come out and said this game is gonna look as good as those cutscenes.
Okay. I know. Well, they've also said a lot of other nonsense that I'm not about. But
yeah, but given
this game's gonna be $150, it's like,
Yeah.
Fuck
But
out of
given
here.
Red Dead 2's like quality, I can see this actually looking as good as the trailer.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because the Red Dead, like the step up in graphics from Red Dead 2 after GTA 5 is pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
Just
take
force
their time
balls and
work on it.
all.
Yeah. The amount of lawsuits that are gonna start popping up for Rockstar is gonna be
They're
funny.
never gonna get those lawsuits though. Like
No, off
they
the
win
ground,
all
no.
of those lawsuits.
What was
that
one of the more recent ones I saw?
It's
You
two.
know,
the
It's
Joker
two
guy.
people. Yes, the Joker
Joker
guy.
guy. Yeah.
There's like this random Florida rapper who's saying that black guy with the dreads is imaged off him. It's like, okay.
Didn't
That's like
Lindsay
the whole
Lohan
Lindsay
try
Lohan
to?
thing
Yeah.
all over.
Lindsay Lohan tried to sue, and she couldn't have the money to go up against Rockstar. Y'all think y'all ready?
It wasn't even that she didn't have the money. It was like a weirdly baseless claim that like the blonde chick in
in the loading
thumb,
screen.
yeah, was her, and it was like, in what way? Like, how did
That
that
she wore a
even?
bikini that was similar colored.
Wow.
That's about it.
Got
Yeah.
him.
That is
Case
that is
closed.
as far as that went.
Fucking open shut
How
right
didn't
there.
she win? I don't know.
Fucking justice
No,
didn't
but-
get served that day.
Like even if they did do it, Rockstar would literally drag that out with money. You're going broke.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh yeah, like
guarantee.
it's best you gotta hope is maybe a settlement if you kind of have a claim. This is nothing close to
Yeah.
having a fucking claim. Yeah, but no,
So-
it looks good. I'm excited. What was it? 2025?
Yeah,
Was that?
Yeah.
I did enjoy the side by side of like what the trailer was based off of, like actual events and stuff. If you've seen that,
Yeah.
it was really cool. You know, they had the picture of that Joker guy, and then their version. Dude, I think he was wearing like a thong, or he was just full butt naked, watering his lawn in the front lawn,
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck it was.
with
Because you know,
Speedo.
Florida. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, just Florida
Uh,
people being Florida people.
It's just Florida. Yeah, like it perfectly encapsulated the meme that Florida has become since Vice City has come out.
So
Yeah.
that was the other things they confirmed that it's absolutely
Yes.
going to be Vice City again.
Big fucking map though.
Yeah.
But there's also a weird thing that popped up on Twitter, and I kind of believe it. People are saying the story of GTA 6 is basically the trailer in reverse.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm not watch the trailer, and like basically it starts off with the two being together, doing a Bonnie Clyde thing, and then she ends up in jail.
Okay.
Like that could be a thing, or it's
Yeah.
just someone really like booking themselves into.
So
a
is it
shoot.
only going to be
Yeah.
one character this time? Or are we
Two.
going back? Okay.
It's two. It's the guy and the girl.
It's
Gotcha.
So
the
we
guy and the
hear-
girl from the trailer. It's supposed to be that.
I didn't know if you. Okay,
Yeah.
it's didn't know if we were still doing kind of like that where you could teleport to different characters, or if it
And then
was.
people are already upset that like it's a
It's
Hispanic.
a female. It's a minority.
Look, all right, gaming community. It's 2023. Can we stop pretending like this shit isn't just normal?
Well,
like I
it's
don't
funny to-
understand.
It's
Sir?
funny to watch because like people were first nitpicking like that it was a female. Then it was like, I'd rather it be that blonde chick from the trailer instead of this chick. And it was like, okay, so like, why? You had a half a second glimpse of this chick. I'm like, come on, what are we doing? And then it was like, oh, apparently she's gonna be a single mother because that's what we need more in games. And it was like, how
You
does
just
that
wanna
like?
hate.
How does that like ruin your experience? Like I just
Yeah,
don't
I
get
don't-
it, right?
Yeah.
Like you're making a human being character with a backstory. Like, oh my god, they have substance to them. Holy shit, I can't believe they've done this. It went so woke, and it was like, I don't think you guys know what that word means anymore.
Sir,
Like-
If there's one
Yes.
thing GTA games have never been, ever, is
they
woke.
take the piss out. They take the piss out of everybody.
Like,
But this is just that you'll see this. Well, you weren't part of this. It's fucking God of War Ragnarok all over again, where the character of Agrabah got
Agrabah.
shown. Yeah, where she was black, and people were mad like they're Norse, so she should be white with ginger hair. Like, okay, my guy, she's fictional and
this is
mythical.
not real.
Who cares?
I so
Who
actually
cares?
really enjoyed her performance in that game.
Except for
So,
that. Hey,
except for the
you're gonna
yeah.
play this game, and you're gonna get through this scene. I had to replay this on New Game Plus. Fucking still hate it. I hate it. I hate playing as Atreus.
Did you play the DLC yet?
Oh, I played it and beat it.
This
How was it?
guy.
Great.
Okay.
Longer than fucking Call of
Shut the
Duty's
fuck
campaign.
up. God damn it.
Still
You
saying
know
it.
what? You know what makes it all the more better is that he literally had that little quip and didn't mention the DLC because it was being announced later in the show.
Yeah.
And
So he had
apparently they're
even better
still
in his
so
pocket.
like it's been like what 2 weeks now, and they're still so like butthurt about it,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe he's
But
done this." And it's like,
the DLC is basically turns into Dark Souls. Like you just get one run apiece, and that fucking boss fight gets. Some of those boss fights get really annoying,
okay,
but it is a fucking. The moments you get in that game are a trip for DLC. I just
Uh-huh.
wish one thing. I wish I can't even bring that up.
yeah, don't.
Yeah. At the end, it's like you see someone, it's like, huh. Really wish they would have got somebody for that. But okay, moving on.
Well, that's a good segue because we're talking about Game of the Awards.
That
Game
guy
of the
got
Awards
banned.
happened. Which guy?
The kid from last year. The Bill Clinton is my rabbi guy.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
banned.
Oh, my God. So again, that
He
kid.
got banned because he was there.
That's
He
funny
took a
because, like,
picture of the stage.
that, the kid became kind of like a kid version of
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. Yeah, or he's like,
Yeah.
well, name 3 books you've read. Bitch, the fuck? The fuck you
I'm
mean?
inviting OnlyFans strippers to my house. I don't fucking know.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so Game Awards happened. And it was a pretty unanimous.
Baldur's Gate swept.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 fans are fucking pissed.
God.
As someone who is platinum Spider-Man 2, I assure you, I love Spider-Man. Don't care.
Yeah.
That game is not beating Baldur's Gate.
Nope.
I promise you. The only one that it could potentially beat Baldur's Gate was voice acting. Yuri put in a phenomenal performance.
Yeah.
But I am not mad that he lost to the guy from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Nope.
see, I mean, I think
Fair.
that was my only thing is I
But if you-
understood across the board most
if you
of
understand
these.
how much actual dialogue Neil Newbern had to put into that game, like
You
for
get
so
it.
many different outcomes and
Yeah.
so many different branches and so many different story variations and like, I mean, it's and people are bitching now because it's out on Xbox, Baldur's Gate, and it's not on Game Pass, and people are like, oh my God, you have to pay for a fucking game. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
Fucking spoiled.
Right. But like it's a $60 game and it's worth
It's
$60.
yeah.
It's not one of these like $60, $70 games that is like, oh hey, it's a fucking glorified DLC. Modern Warfare 3. It's it's
Be mad about it.
I mean, speaking of DLCs, they actually had a DLC come out for God of War, which we were just talking about, and that shit was completely free and longer than the $70 DLC.
I
that just
fucking
came out.
get it, guys. God damn.
And his story.
I'm
and
not
his
saying my
story.
company's better than yours. I understand it's
am.
trash.
But no, I mean the uproar of these like, oh, gaming is dying, and it's like all you play is like 2K and Fortnite or whatever, or like, oh my God, I can't believe Baldur's Gate 3 won. It's a mobile game essentially, and it's like, okay,
No, it's
well,
not.
show me the mobile game that plays like this, because apparently I'm fucking playing the wrong mobile games. Like somebody point me in the right direction here. Like this
Ola's
is
still
not
playing
Raid
Fruit
Shadow.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
What you call me?
Not doing this again.
That was 2 slurs in one.
Yeah. Yo, damn.
You got double banned.
Here's what, and this is one of the few categories that didn't involve Baldur's Gate that I thought I was very surprised as somebody that enjoys fighting games. I was very surprised to see Street Fighter 6 beat Mortal Kombat.
Hell yeah.
I'm not surprised.
And it's not to say that Street Fighter 6 isn't good. Street Fighter 6 is a damn good Street Fighter game. I just feel Mortal Kombat 1 was a tad better.
The way I see it, Street Fighter had longer time.
Yeah, and that might be part of it. That you know, that might play a big role in it, that Street Fighter 6 was out quite a bit longer than Mortal Kombat. But I am happy to see one of them win. Because Street Fighter 5 being what it was, and actually coming back, in the next game to actually win something is good.
Yep.
Also, can we talk about the fact that like the original, like the 2018 Spider-Man game didn't really win anything that year either, because it came out in 2018 when like everything fucking phenomenal came out.
What won that year?
2018 was God of War.
God of War.
God, double down.
But also like Red Dead.
People were mad Ragnarok didn't win.
Right. Well, yeah, Ragnarok didn't win last year because Elden Ring won, and like,
which
I get it.
Look,
I'm not an Elden Ring fan. Yeah, I'm not a big Elden Ring or like Souls like huge fan, but I understand that a game that deep won. It's fine.
Yeah.
And again, same thing like you said. Like, I'm a big Spider-Man 2 fan. I love the shit out of that game. Did it deserve to win Game of the Year? No. Could you have said like, okay, yeah.
I still think it should have won Best Action Adventure.
Who won?
Zelda.
No. Breath of
no, Tears of the Kingdom. I just don't think Tears of the Kingdom. I'm about 10 hours into Tears of the Kingdom. Just kind of taking my time with it, and it's good. I'm not saying because that's the unfortunate part is when you say that it's me coming off like, oh, it's not any good. It's good. I just think Marvel Spider-Man, from everything I saw, looked inherently better. This just feels like a DLC to Breath of the Wild.
The thing is, I can see why Tears of the Kingdom won. That's the thing. It's not like, oh man, they got robbed. They just snubbed it. You can clearly see why these games were picked over Spider-Man 2. That's my thing. It wasn't some big.
Because I would still say Jedi Survivor should have got it before Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion.
So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things like if you look at Tears of the Kingdom, I can understand to an extent being on Game of the Year. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, I don't know that should be on there. Alan Wake 2 like just came out and it was on there, but that's okay. Resident Evil 4 remake. Like, there are some snubs on there for like Game of the Year that probably weren't going to win anyway. Like, Final Fantasy 16 was really good.
Oh, what do you mean? You think Mario Wonder was going to win Game of the Year?
No.
Has Nintendo won a Game of the Year since like Breath of the Wild's like the only recent one, right?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I do. Here's the other one that I think is kind of funny to me is Best Action Game. So you have Dead Island 2. You have Remnant 2, which if you've never played Remnant, is a relatively good action game. It gives me like Gears of War vibes ish. Hi-Fi Rush was solid.
Yeah.
But the winner was Armored Core 6?
Yeah.
But this is from somebody that doesn't really understand that series. I've never really played much of it. To see games like Dead Island 2 lose was very surprising to me. I definitely thought Dead Island 2 would have won that.
I've heard good things about Armored Core, though I've never played any of them.
A bunch of my coworkers, including my supervisor, all played Armored Core. Like, they had nothing but great things to say.
You see, I always just thought that was one of those shitty like 360 series that just lived on longer than they should have.
No, my brother-in-law like swore by it. He bought that before he bought Baldur's Gate, and then like we had talked about Baldur's Gate, and he was like, "Fuck, now I gotta buy it." But like he's like, I turned around and bought that instead and loved it. So
gotcha.
Their fandom is like, it's small, but they're dedicated. They won't be in your face about it, but they appreciate their games.
I was upset to see Dredge not win debut indie because I enjoyed Dredge.
Dave the Diver won, didn't it?
No, Cocoon.
Oh, what'd you call me? Easy fucking bait. Sorry.
Every time.
It was easy to lay that one up.
I hate you guys.
I knew what won. I just wanted.
I hate you guys. I mean, Baldur's Gate absolutely should have won community support. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
the
the
amount
fact
of
Destiny 2's
Destiny 2.
on that list blows my mind.
fucking
Destiny 2 should have won for the shits.
oh,
I would have loved to see that one.
'cause that's a big thing about Larian Studios that like I've just enjoyed is that how much panic they put into these big AAA studios and like the fact that you can literally be like, oh hey, I wish we could like add this feature, and then they were like, yeah, fuck it, let's go next patch. Like
Yeah,
we've seen that a bunch of people wanted to add this. Oh, you couldn't like edit your character's appearance after creation. Here's a patch for that. Oh, you couldn't do this. Here's a patch for that. Oh, hey, like it's been out since August and it's already had like 7 patches, all for like just overall improvement.
yeah.
And that doesn't mean that it was like non-playable on day 1 Starfield. Like it was fucking ready to go. Did you see, actually, speaking of Starfield, the modders for Skyrim? I forget what the is it
Have
Skyrim
given up.
Together? They've given up because the game is boring.
Jesus.
So they're
That's
not even
bad
like
when
modding Starfield because they just find the game incredibly boring.
And that's I find that such a shame because that game, much like every Skyrim game, has so much goddamn potential.
Yeah.
And they just don't do
No.
nothing with it.
I feel like Skyrim is better though, because you still have the adventuring aspect of it. From what I've seen of Starfield, is basically like it's what people thought Death Stranding was.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of cutscenes of just, hey, fast travel here, fast travel there, walk to this place, but there's nowhere to explore like Skyrim. At least with Skyrim, if you walk to, let's say I'm going halfway across the map, I'm probably making like 20 stops at random things that pop up on the map.
Yeah.
Starfield, you don't get that luxury.
Yeah. No, I that's probably a big part of it. I don't know. It'll probably be one of those games that'll suck for a while and then all of a sudden it'll get good a year later.
I hope so. I don't want it. I mean, with the amount that it was hyped up and everybody was like, it's going to be game of the year, and then like it did what it did. I was like, guys.
But that's been kind of everything Xbox has put out here recently. I mean, that Redfall was supposed to be this big, game of the year quality game. It wasn't.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be good.
Yeah. That's a series that I need to sit down and work my way through. I was happy about this with the ongoing to see Cyberpunk. I think that shows a lot of quality of them really kind of, having a rough launch, but well, okay. But here's the thing: I'm gonna give them a leeway on this because you can't want this company to drop a game sooner and then bitch and moan when it's not gonna be ready. The community kind of did that to themselves.
Oh no, I don't fault them for that. It's like, hey, they fully accepted, hey, the product we released was kind of shitty. We apologize, and we will do our damnedest to fix it to the quality that y'all deserve.
They were up front the whole time.
Yeah.
They pulled a No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Yeah. They said, hey, we released something that was buggy, a fucking mess. Cool.
This is the same studio that, did The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So like I had full faith in them to fix it. Just it was a shame that they caved in to everybody bitching that they wanted it, and then they drop it, and everybody's like, "Oh, this game's a piece of shit." Yeah, it wasn't ready to go, and you like fucking screamed it. Yeah, like fuck you. Like if this game at its current level came out,
game of the year easily.
It could have been in the running for game of the year, or if it came out as it is now, when did it 2020?
Yeah,
it probably would have won 2020's game of the year. But
it is good to see them get recognition. I think they've done a lot and I think the next time it goes on sale, I'll definitely end up picking it up because it's one that I haven't gotten to catch.
It was in the running for best community support because of how much they've fixed it.
Yeah.
It was also, Idris Elba was also up for best performance. I mean, that best performance lineup is pretty
yeah. No, it's a very killer.
Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan for Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Neil Newbern, Yuri Lowenthal. The only one I'm not familiar with is the Melanie Liburd for
Alan Wake.
And just because I haven't played Alan Wake. I've heard good things. I just haven't played it. So I'm not familiar with the performance, but I mean that's a stacked lineup. Were they up for anything else? I don't remember. Best ongoing,
Just
game,
ongoing, I think, and community support.
and community support. That might be it. Innovation and accessibility. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that was it. But I mean, you know, it's a game that came out 3 years ago, and they're getting it to where it's supposed to be now.
Here's one, oddly enough, that I think Baldur's Gate was odd they didn't win this one. Was best narrative.
Apparently, Alan Wake 2 is
Just that good? Is that okay? I guess
From-
that's. I'll have to add that to my.
I've seen comment sections where, like, you know, you find the right comment section and
Yeah.
people aren't like crying about it, or everybody's just making fun of the fucking Spider-Man 2 fanboys.
Yeah.
And like, somebody genuinely asked in one of the comment threads was like, man, somebody like, what makes Alan Wake 2 so great? And somebody was like, oh my god, the story is just amazing and blah blah blah, like without obviously giving
Yeah.
information away. So like it intrigues me to want to find out more about it.
Because it also
So-
got best game direction as well.
Best narrative, best art direction, and best game direction.
Yeah. Although, and I know I joked about Mario Wonder being game of the year. I have
Family
heard that it is actually a very good Mario game from what I've seen.
So I mean, it looks like a continuation with more to it for the like the 2D
Yeah.
side scrolling, which I'm glad they have kind of gone back to. I know it's not. I know it didn't win, but I'm glad it was on there. Sonic Superstars. I didn't play it, but it was nice to see Sonic go back to that same style.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to play it, but because Nintendo is Nintendo, it's going to be like $70 for the next 10 years, and I don't.
I know shit,
really-
man. I just picked up Mario Odyssey because it just went on sale for like the first time and
since
was like,
2016.
yeah, it was like $40. I go, shit, it ain't gonna go on sale ever again. I might as well get
No.
it now.
Next week it'll be fucking $80.
It's like, go ahead and just cop this. And I have enjoyed it so far. It has been, it has been pretty good. But yeah, so I mean, game of the year, I get it. You know, I've not even finished Baldur's Gate 3, and I firmly agree that it should have been game of the year. And that's not to say that Spider-Man 2 isn't good. Spider-Man 2 is a good game.
Yep.
I kind of in that same I heard somebody talk about it where it's just hard to give superhero games game of the year for me. The same way like it would be hard for me to give like superhero movies like Grammys and Oscar nomination, not Grammys, Oscar nominations. For because it's a very repetitive formula.
Yep.
You know, and not to say that it doesn't work and that it doesn't have its place, but I just don't when you have games. Sorry, my damn chair is busted and I keep having to fucking lift it back up.
It's funny because someone has won an Oscar for a superhero movie, and it's not a traditional superhero movie.
Which one is it?
Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
Joker. Okay, yeah, that's
Best
right.
actor.
Yeah.
So, you might have, because we were kind of discussing it in my stream last week, I think, and Raven made that same comment about superhero movies not winning like Oscars and
Yeah.
like acting and movie awards and stuff like that. It's the same thing.
Actually,
But also, like, it's a 15 to 20 hour game compared to a game that I've already sunk about 90 hours in, and I haven't even made it out of Act 2 yet. So,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
It's a very linear game.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to get to point A to point B. You
also,
know,
I do have a complaint about that game is that, like, after you beat the story, like, the
nothing to
shit-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of.
It's an uninstall.
Everything.
I'm
It's
hoping
not an uninstall. It's a wait till.
DLC.
It's a wait for DLC and New Game Plus.
Yeah. I mean, because that's
Also,
when I
that
got the
super
first one,
pisses me off.
you know, I got to a point where I could unlock all the side quest stuff, did all of that, and then completed it. But after that, I uninstall it because I'm done. Like, there's nothing else that's going to be added to this.
The DLC for the first one was good.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that, and even if they do it episodically like they did for the 2018 version, where they just have 3 different DLCs that come out, like I think it was a month apart. Like the first month they had
Yeah.
the one story, then the second was the next.
City Never Sleeps, The Silver Lining, and fuck, I forgot the third one.
City Never Sleeps, which
Because they
That's
were all
Tombs-
based around Hammerhead.
No, because you have one based on Silver Sable,
Right, yeah, I guess.
one
So.
on Hammerhead, and a third one Black Cat.
Black Cat, but I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see what is. I mean, is Baldur's Gate? I assume they're gonna have DLC at some point, aren't they? Of like,
City Never Sleeps is just the.
have
I
they
don't
made?
even think they did DLC. They just keep adding things in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
No,
you know,
like-
like story. Are they gonna continue any
But
kind of
they've-
story?
They've added stuff into
Oh,
it.
okay.
So like from launch, they've added stuff into the epilogue. They've added stuff for certain characters, like different stories for that character. So I don't know if they're gonna have like a DLC per se,
Yeah.
but there's also so much replayability that
True.
like we have that me and my 2 buddies that had
Yeah.
that one playthrough, and we're talking about
Doing
we're
an
not even
evil
mid-
one.
yeah, we're doing a good playthrough, and then we're gonna go back with different characters and do an evil playthrough, have a whole different thing. Like I have a solo playthrough that is good, but I'm gonna try an evil solo playthrough. Like I'm just so intrigued by the different things
Yeah.
you can do. Whereas like doing a new game plus a Spider-Man doesn't intrigue me at the moment.
Did Raven ever get Baldur's Gate?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Seriously.
So, quick clarification: Spider-Man's DLC in total was called The City That Never Sleeps.
Okay.
The 3 DLCs separate were called The Heist, which is Black Hat,
Yeah.
Yep.
Turf Wars, which is
Hammerhead.
Hammerhead,
and Silver Lining, which
Lining.
is Silver Sable.
the Silver Sable.
I knew one is Silver Sable.
I feel like there was 4. That's weird. I guess it was 3.
Oh, you're talking about Miles Morales.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't resist the joke.
God damn.
I'm
Yeah,
glad I
sure.
bought that on sale.
Yeah,
Same.
I bought it day one.
Not that the gameplay is disappointing.
No, it was a good
I would have
game.
been very upset to pay full price for that.
I did, so
Sucker.
fuck off.
Listen, I paid full price for Street Fighter 5 on day one, and it wasn't even complete.
makes
By
you
the
feel,
time I never wanted to look at it again, it was apparently a
Porto,
good
if
game.
it makes you feel any better, I paid full price for Modern Warfare 3. So
Yeah,
they got me too.
at least Miles Morales was like cheaper. It wasn't like a full price game.
Yeah.
At that point, I think it was like 50.
Yeah, I think it went for like 50.
Yeah.
All right, Porto.
All right.
Sure, you're up. This is
See, at first I was gonna joke and call this the Creamies, but that sounds like
we're on the
That's what
wrong
it is.
we're on the wrong app for that. Okay.
that sounds like a podcast that is hosted
Different.
by Riley
That's
Reid. But
that's my after dark podcast.
yeah, no, this is the top crop, but for the year. So we have a couple categories. All 3 of us have made separate lists, and I totaled these on a point system, and got a collective top 5 between the 3 of us.
I was
let's see.
wondering how you were like, because I remember reading it and I go, I don't think I understand what we're doing,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna do as I'm told.
So basically, if let's say your top pick was number 1, that's worth 5 points. Second pick, 4 points. Third pick, 3 points. Second pick, 2 points. Fifth pick, 1 point. So adding those together, you get certain points. Sometimes your first pick might not be at the top because collectively, me and Olas may have picked something else.
We've been verified by Porto that some of these are going to be interesting.
Some of these are fucking weird. All right.
I can't wait.
Let's start off. We'll
I'm
start
so
off with the easy
intrigued.
one. Pay-per-view of the year. Top paper. We'll start 5 to 4. We'll start lowest to top.
Okay.
Lowest rank 5. we have a tie for Elimination Chamber and Forbidden Door 2 at 4 points apiece.
Wow. Okay.
Forbidden Door is only up there because I put it as my second pick. And that
I was
made
gonna
the
say 4
bottom.
points apiece had to have been you.
Yeah, it's
All
just
4
me.
of them were Porto.
It's just me.
So where did you have Elimination Chamber for you?
I didn't have Elimination Chamber on my list.
So you had it 3. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I had it at 5.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
it was between y'all two, and that's a 4.
It's a solid. It was a solid pay per view.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. I just remember the one match. I looked back at that match card. The fact that the US title is in the Elimination Chamber fucking bugs me.
But it was still a
And-
good match.
But it was a solid match.
It's
Yeah.
a solid match. Montez Ford put on a fucking clinic. I still think he should have won the fucking US title.
Yep.
But I still do not care about that. The ending of that pay-per-view just said, fuck it, I don't care. I wanted Sammy to win.
Well, yeah, you
I
just
wanted-
knew he wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
I knew it, but I had hope. His wife was out there. He had one of the biggest pops.
Yep.
It was great.
Okay.
At number 4, Backlash with 5 points.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Which one of
Looking back
you?
at it,
Sorry,
I
which
can-
one
I
of
can
you?
tell
Which one
who
of you had
didn't have it.
Backlash at number 1? Which one of you had?
No,
Yeah, Backlash didn't make my list.
I had it at number 2.
Okay.
I had it at number 5.
Okay. Yeah,
Like, I
it
had
didn't make mine.
So 4, yeah. It's a great show, great pop. Bad Bunny, biggest pop of the fucking year. I don't care what anyone says. Well,
Well, I guess that
we'll
ruined the
get to
answer
that.
1 years
We'll-
later.
We'll get to that later. We have number 3,
3.
WrestleMania. with
Okay.
6.
Okay.
6 points.
Wow.
And we decided that WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 are
Collectively the same thing.
Because only one person actually put Night 1.
Was it all us?
Yeah.
It's like fuck the
WrestleMania,
second night.
Not on my list.
Number 5 for me.
Yeah. It's a solid show.
Yeah.
Eh.
I would put it over Backlash. That's not that
Yeah.
Backlash was bad. I thought WrestleMania as a
For
whole.
me, because I separated it, if I would have put it together, I probably would have had it lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because I was specific about night 1 because night 1's card was so good.
My only issue with WrestleMania is the intro match to night 1. The
What was that?
Theory
Lawler?
Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Could have cared.
forgot
Didn't
all-
really care about that one. Other than that, that was about it.
Shane McMahon
Yeah, they-
blowing his quads.
They
Was that
coulda- they coulda-
WrestleMania?
I thought
Yeah.
that was 2. I thought that was night 2.
Yeah, it was night 2. I thought.
I know, but I was just saying it's
Oh
WrestleMania.
yeah.
yeah.
That was the
If they
best part
would've-
of WrestleMania.
If they would have switched Rhea and Charlotte for that Austin Theory Cena match, night 1 would have been
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Number 2, Royal Rumble with 7 points.
Okay.
Actually, not mad at Royal Rumble.
It was a
coming in
good
second
Rumble.
place. Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
so where did I
know
had
what-
it?
I
I
know
had
what
it
number
1.
1 is now.
I
Yeah.
had it at 1.
I
I-
didn't have it.
I had it at 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
y'all
interesting. A
can
lot of
even that
these
out.
one of us don't have on. Like it's been every one.
Oh,
One
yeah,
of us
no,
doesn't
mine-
have.
Mine was a lot of AEW shows.
I'm pretty sure Porto was surprised by my number 2 on
Yeah.
this one.
Fucking odd. Number 1. This one is a surprise because Onyx is a known. He hates AEW.
Oh, throwing it out there.
All in with 12 points.
Oh, let's take a guess.
That was your number 2?
That was my number 1.
That was my number 3.
So it's like
Hey, look
it's
at that
odd
one.
that it got up there.
Yeah, I as much as I shit on AEW, Porto and I sat and watched pretty much that most. I think most of the card for that night
Yeah.
Hey,
or
hey,
day, I
was
guess.
there.
Were you? Well, you were there for part of it, but I'm saying he and
I
I
was
were
in
watching
traffic,
it.
but I was
He
there.
and I, well, yeah. And no, I mean although some went a little long, matches were good and good storytelling. Good, just good wrestling. As Tony Khan would put it. They put on good wrestling.
So I had 2 shows that did not make the list.
Okay.
Mine were Crown Jewel at number 4
How
and
fucking dare you?
and Full Gear at number 3.
You know what? Crown Jewel was pretty decent.
Crown Jewel was actually pretty
Disagree.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't like
It's
anything
a,
about Crown
it's a
Jewel.
decent. It's a
I take it
decent
back.
show.
There's one match in Crown Jewel that I enjoyed. It was the female fatal
Battle-
5-way.
Yeah.
That was
Decent
like
match.
really the only match I cared about. that was decent.
Logan versus Rey Mysterio. Decent match.
It was
Like,
okay.
I can't fault the card.
No, it's okay, and it's nothing against Logan Paul. Like I just thought it was an okay match. I mean, it wasn't anything
It was
spectacular.
a solid card, though. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, there was. I think WWE this year did much better non-big shows other than Royal Rumble
Yeah,
and WrestleMania Night 1. But like SummerSlam was Survivor Series was but like you had your Night of Champions was better than, you know, SummerSlam. You had your Crown Jewel better than, you know, a lot of other pay-per-views. Like it was
well,
okay.
so Olas, did you have any on this list, on your list, that didn't make it?
No,
I did.
mine was Night 1, Backlash, All In, Rumble, Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me, Supporter, you had Full Gear and Crown Jewel didn't make it. I had
Yep.
Survivor Series didn't make it.
Exactly. So yeah. So that's how you get the feel of this. Like some people will not get their
Yeah.
votes represented.
I like this. No, Porter, you did a
yeah.
great job. Like, this is something I didn't have to fucking put together. This is awesome.
Okay. So moving on to our next
You know,
category.
we can divvy these responsibilities up. Like,
Next beginning of the year, Olas has to do this. He starts 2024 predictions.
Most
Gotcha.
improved.
Yeah. Most improved. So top of the most improved list is a tie.
oh,
Representing NXT and WWE, Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio.
Okay.
With top points at 9 apiece.
You know what? I'm not mad about that. I don't like him, but I'm not mad about that.
Like, as
which
a
one
wrestler,
don't you like?
Dominic's kind of the one I wouldn't have put up there, but I'm not mad about it. I mean, I see it.
Where'd you have him?
I had Trick.
Well,
Did you
I
have
mean, let's
Dominic
go
on your
through the.
list?
Huh?
I'm asking Onyx. Where did you?
I put Trick
Where'd you
Williams
have
at number
Dom?
1.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm
Did
saying.
you have Dominic on your list?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have Dominic on my most improved.
So
Yeah.
you had him what at number 2?
Uh-oh, Porto
Yes.
fucked it up.
No,
We're only second one in.
shut up. So, yeah, Onyx has that at number 1. I definitely have. No, that's wrong. Then I fucked up. I have fucked up.
It's okay, Porto. I do it all the time. That's why it took me
Someone's getting knocked the fuck off.
six tries to get an intro in.
Look, y'all, hold up. I blame Onyx because he sent this in like
Yeah, that's fair.
at the fucking twilight hour. Not gonna
Okay.
add these up.
Let's. You had an
Like
hour and a half.
at the as we were getting ready to record hour.
Yeah.
Oh, shut
I
up.
fucking sent mine in and then had to go back and add 2 to each fucking thing.
That's
that
not
I
my
did.
fault. You didn't pay attention to instructions.
He said 3 to 5. I went, all right, I'll do 3.
Yeah, 3 to 5, and then I later said we'll just do 5 apiece.
Yeah. Read your
I
fucking
stand
messages, bro.
corrected.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I would tell you. I saw it was
I went
5.
Yeah.
So
you should have
nah,
done 4.
just-
Fuck off.
just to correct myself, it's a slight correction.
Okay.
Trick Williams actually gets number 1.
Hey.
Okay. He's at 11.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Okay,
I know who
both-
number 2 is.
Yeah, number
Yeah.
2. Unfortunately, it's Dominic Mysterio with 9 points.
That's fine. I get that. Okay,
Both
so
great years.
So did we all have Trick Williams, or was it just
I had Trick at top.
you did?
I had
so he
him
gets
at
5.
I had him at number 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
So technically, he tops at 12 points.
Okay.
Dom is at 2. Of course, he's number 2.
Which one? So I didn't have Dom at all.
I
So
had
I'm
him at number 1.
assuming you both had him. What?
I had him at number 2.
2,
I had him at
1.
Yeah, so he got 9.
Okay.
Sorry, the 9 points came from me and Olas because Olas had, what was it? You had Dom at 1, Trick at 2, and I had Trick at 1, Dom at 2. So like we swapped 1 and 2. I forget. So
I had Trick at 4, but
yeah, and I had Trick at 5. So it was like that's 9 apiece between the two of us. So we have number 3. actually.
Double checking the math.
No. Sorry, because I have two things pulled up.
You're fine.
Yeah.
We never do anything here
And
around the
number
first try.
3, we have Julia Hart at 8 points.
Huh.
Yeah. I had her way up there.
Not even on my list.
I had her at
I
3.
know. You don't like women.
You know what's bad is I went through most of these and go, I don't have a lot of women on this list.
Yeah. So Julia is number. Oh yeah, no, I'm wrong. I had Julia top billing. Huh? Weird. Whatever.
It worked out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Math there. Math.
Number 4, another woman leading the charge. Tiffany Stratton
Yeah.
with 6 points.
I could see it.
She has really that No Mercy match with Becky Lynch really did elevate her.
Yeah.
And then she did nothing but continue doing great matches.
Yep.
But she
I
has
had her at number 2.
yeah, she has way too much faith in her tops.
I was wondering why it cut off like that, and I was like,
I don't
something
think it was
had to have
her.
popped out. It was her.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
For
that match
the one that the pay-per-view that just went. What
Yeah,
the fuck was the name
Deadline.
of it? Deadline.
Yeah.
I remember the end of that match, like, it went dark, someone's top came off. I feel like between everyone in that match, Titty was popping out. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Tits
Titty.
coming out. Tits
Come
coming
on.
out.
Sorry, I just thought of Dave Chappelle. Just
Oh, my Lord.
such. All right, rounding up most improved. Because I need to improve at doing this list better. Santos at 5.
Okay. So
Which
that's
I
me and one other
find
person.
So fucking weird.
I had Santos at 2. That's mainly just in the last like few weeks because him being heel has been a
Yeah,
huge change for me.
I don't. Yeah. Santos.
So was it just me that had Santos? Is that? Oh, okay.
I feel like you.
My
didn't know
list
you
my
were-
list is really weird. Sorry.
Yeah, your list is weird. I
So
don't
so I had Trick Williams at 1. I had Santo at 2. I had Christian at 3. Because like the gimmick he's doing now, I thought it was a big improvement for him. I had Street Profits at 4 because I like them better as heels.
Yeah.
And then I had Chad Gable at 5 because I actually, well, not so much now, but they were doing quite a bit with him at the time, and he was putting on good shows. But yeah, so
I think we had different definitions of improvement.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
I think Porto and I based it off of in-ring work,
Yeah,
Yep.
and you based it off of character work.
yeah, I agree.
Because what rounded out Olas's was the guns. He had
Oh, see,
Dominic, Tiffany,
fuck, that'd have been
Julia-
a good one. I should have done. Yeah,
Yeah,
guns would have been.
Dominic, Tiffany, Julia, Trick, Guns.
Yep.
Mine was Julia, Dominic, Trick, Tiffany, Damian Priest.
I almost thought about Damian Priest as well.
Damian Priest rounded out mine because he really didn't have a character other than Bad Bunny's friend.
Yeah,
So I kind of linked into the Onyx character work over. But
Okay.
again, solid list though. So feud of the year. This is where things get fucking crazy. Let's realize it. I'm gonna start this off from the bottom and work my way up.
Yeah.
Cause fuck that. This is gonna enter. Oh.
Show me potato salad.
No, because this is where we're gonna have to have a discussion and a tiebreaker. Because fifth place, feud of the year, Seth and Finn, which is definitely mine and only mine.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Usos versus KO and Sammy,
okay.
and Olas's pick, HBK and Triple H versus Tony Khan, aka also versus Twitter. Fucking A.
Oh my god, you're a
Because
legend.
of one,
You're a
fucking
fucking
night.
This is a
legend.
one
NXT.
week of fucking Twitter breakdown.
Jesus.
We all like. Honestly, I'm giving it to fucking Khan versus DX.
Yeah, that's fine. That wins. Oh my
Yeah. The
god.
fucking tantrum that
I-
happened.
I did kind of go a little meme-ish for
You really
this.
did. You're gonna follow it up with something just as memey.
Fucking great. Here I was being serious and putting fucking
Yeah, but I
I
also
mean,
have
I
a
was being
question.
serious too, but
this
I
guy.
also have a question for this next one.
Okay.
4th place. I got Osprey versus Omega. Definitely mine.
okay.
CM Punk versus AEW. Wonder who that one is. And Miz versus LA Knight.
Hey, there's mine.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Legitimately
There was like
blanked
3
out.
weeks of me talking about that on this goddamn podcast.
I know, but I just don't remember it. I saw it. I'm like, you have to be shitting me. You have
And
to
it
be,
wasn't
you have
and
to be
it
fucking
wasn't
with me.
bad, but it was like I don't it just didn't come to mind for me. Like it wasn't a bad feud, but it definitely wasn't a top feud for me this year.
I thought it was such a
Yeah.
great just mouth versus mouth, you know, and back and forth. The Miz wrestling an invisible John Cena and
That was just goofy.
My
funny.
I feel like Miz versus Gunther was a better feud.
Oh,
Maybe.
I would
Eh.
put it equal. I wouldn't say better.
better
is-
match quality.
Yeah. LA
Eh.
Knight's not the best wrestler.
Shut up,
But that's
liar.
not
You
what he
liar.
needs to be though.
Yeah. He's a catchphrase. Yeah.
Yeah. You're assholes.
But okay. Just
yeah.
yeah. It's not that bad. It's
So
it's a
okay,
solid
so hit me with the list so far. We got what's 5?
5 was Seth. Well, now it's official. Khan versus DX.
Is it 4 or is
Yeah,
that 5?
4 No, that's 5. 4 is the through between CM Punk and AEW, Osprey versus Omega, and Miz versus Knight.
I mean, it's got to be CM Punk versus AEW.
I feel like
I'll
a lot of
bow
people
out
ain't
to
gonna
that
do
one.
it.
That's like
Yeah.
oh
So
I originally put the Elite, and then I went.
no,
Well,
it was just
Jack Perry's not
AEW.
technically a part of the Elite, and then Tony
Yeah,
Khan.
it's an
And,
ongoing feud
yeah,
to this day.
that's why I said. That's why I was making the joke before we recorded about the 2-year feud.
Yeah. So now, number 3, more serious feuds. MJF versus Adam Cole.
Okay.
That's it's a tie with Hangman and Mox, which
Huh.
is definitely my pick. As much as I wanted to give it to Swerve, the Mox thing was actually a little bit better,
Yes.
and it still ended in a Texas death match. And the fact that it started because Mox gave Hangman an actual concussion.
I don't know. I'm gonna hold pretty tight to my pick on this one. I
No,
don't.
MJF versus Adam Cole is actually pretty good. Like I don't see it.
I
Is
just
that-
don't see it as a big feud because it hasn't
paid
blown
off.
up yet.
Yeah, it didn't get to pay off
Because he got
because
hurt. Yeah, because Adam Cole got hurt. There's no like full payoff, and I think if they were like whenever Adam Cole comes back, and if they do end up doing that, then we can probably revisit that.
But you can
for-
also say the feud kind of ended at All In with that big moment of them hugging and embracing
Right.
after their match. So I can get if that's the story.
It was
You wanna
because
build up
it's
to.
one of those where it wasn't like a feud in the sense of like a bad versus good. It was like two friends, you know, kind of
Two
waiting
guys who didn't
for.
like each other.
If we
became
said
friends, became tag
storyline of the
champions, and
year,
had a great match.
if it was more so storyline of the year as opposed to feud, I could kind of give that the leeway because it was more of like a reluctant buddies,
Become
kind of
champions
thing.
together.
right?
Yeah.
But then like
So-
becomes really funny and entertaining and like very must watch. But because the feud itself didn't really go anywhere, they had the one match
Yeah,
against each other. Like,
damn good match.
it was
the
a good
promo
match.
battle was pretty good though.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll bow out
It-
to it. I'll bow.
no,
He made it made
see,
sense. It makes sense.
no.
No, it's
We only have tiebreakers with the whole 3-way because at that point it's like all three of us pick something random and it's like that's where we do a tiebreaker. If
Okay,
it's just
gotcha.
two, it's okay because that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious.
Number two and number one kind of blend together.
Okay, because they both involve Reigns.
Yeah. Sorry.
Knew it.
Nailed it around that fucking head. Number two Sammy and Roman.
Yep.
Which kind of leads more from 2022 into 2023 because it
Yeah.
flows off in Elimination Chamber, but we still count it because it ended 2023. And
Well, yeah,
Bloodline
because I mean,
Warfare,
it
which
really blew up Royal Rumble
yeah,
with that chair shot, and
Yeah.
then into
into
Elimination
Elimination
Chamber.
Chamber. Yeah. So number one will be Bloodline Warfare because it's like Jay versus Roman. Kind of
It was Usos against Solo and Roman, then it was Jay
Jay
versus
versus
Roman.
Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of Bloodline Warfare tops the list.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Easy win. The Bloodline storyline has gotten good. It kind of fell off a little bit. Now that it's
I'm
just
still not sure I
Jimmy,
care about it right
Solo.
now.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Right-
it
right
was
now, but
it ran its course.
yeah, leading up to WrestleMania, best thing ever.
Yeah.
Then it just kind of, now we have to figure out how to make this last until next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
All right, so from feud of the year, we're going to reign of the year. This is championship reigns throughout the year. I feel like number one was a fucking no-brainer.
Oh, hold on. Are we going 1 to 5 now, or are we still doing 5 to 1? I like doing the 5 to 1.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
End it with the top one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 5 to 1. So fifth place tie. We have Seth freaking Rollins and Orange Cassidy.
Really?
Yeah. I get Seth.
I
put Seth low
don't.
because
And not
put Seth low
because
too.
like Seth's not good. It's just I don't feel like his reign's been anything special.
the quality of matches have been decent enough.
That's
Yes.
true. I guess
So
that is true.
Remember, we had this conversation about the problem with his reign is that he's been facing people that we want to see
Beat him.
beat him. So we want Finn to be the champion because he never got a real reign because he was the inaugural Universal Champion but got hurt. We want to see Nakamura win a title because he hasn't
Never.
won
Yeah.
a title.
Yeah.
I think
Sammy,
this year has
AJ.
done right. I think this year, like you guys were saying, for you, for most improved, I think Damian Priest has had a really good year. So like, we kind of want to see him cash in. So like, it's tough because it's not to the fault of Seth
Yeah.
that the reign has felt underwhelming, but I still like, for me, I put him at 4
Yeah.
because
And
I was still.
And I had him at 1.
Not
that
not
equals
even
out
on
to
my
3 points.
list.
Yeah. I feel like the rest of them make more sense. But yeah, solid like he has solid defenses, great matches. You do want the other guy to win, but you're getting a great quality match out of it.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna be funny when WrestleMania Night 1, he loses to CM Punk and then gets cashed in on by
Oh
Damian
God,
Priest.
yeah.
They're gonna recreate that scene. I promise you. So, reign of the year number 4, making her way on the list randomly, only because one person, Athena, with 4 points.
Okay.
She's also tied with the Usos,
Okay.
which randomly put in the tag. The Usos undisputed run.
Yeah.
It's more of the bloodline kind of thing where it was cool when they first had it.
I just like the Usos. I think that, especially I like fuck everybody Usos.
Yeah.
The
Uso Penitentiary.
Uso Penitentiary. Like I'm all about them as heels. I think that was the best move they ever did was go kind of heel. Although I don't mind Jay as like a face, but I think as a tag, getting away from the Samoan gimmick and actually doing something.
Now he just does the arm thing.
Yeah, he can't do yeet no more because it's copyrighted.
Well,
he can.
Oh, they get it.
Yeah,
they
got
it
it
back.
Yeah. Also, the pumping up the crowd thing he's been doing for years. It's just now the crowd's actually
really
going
pumping up.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that brought up a whole conversation on Twitter about Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
Where they had the whole Twitter thing of them boys referring to like.
Oh yeah, he had a fucking tirade on that one.
And people like, I get exactly what he means because everybody's like, well, the Cowboys have been doing it for years. It's like, that's not the point. When you're talking about in wrestling and you refer to them boys, you're thinking of the Briscoes first in a wrestling context.
And then so they got on the WWE on Fox Twitter account, and then the AEW Twitter account called him fucking Jay
Yeah, so it's like
instead of Mark.
the main event.
And it was
Jay.
like, no, Briscoe. They called him.
Yeah,
They
Jay
referred
Briscoe.
to him as his brother instead.
Ooh,
And it was
that's
like,
bad.
Yeah,
dude,
that
we
shit
just
is
had a
funny.
whole thing about this, and then you turned around and fucked it up on your own Twitter
It's
account.
fucked up because it just turned out to be a year after his passing.
Jeez.
So that also explains why he was so pissed about it,
Yeah.
because it was literally around the time his brother
Yeah.
just passed. So it's like he apologized, like, "Yo, I was just in my feelings about this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave."
And
it
I
alone."
respect him for that. I mean,
Yeah.
to turn around and go, hey, you know, it really ain't that. It's just, you know, I get
Shit
it.
was serious right now. Moving on. Number 3, MJF with 5 points.
Oh, okay.
Surprisingly, he's not top. He's not on top of this list.
I don't think
Which-
that's surprising.
Like, great matches, defending him more than Roman did this year. Because he turned face, honestly.
It's like I said earlier, we've had this podcast about as many times as Roman Reigns has defended that title
Yeah. I
and taken
think
the
his
same
work
amount
has
of
gotten-
breaks.
Yeah, his work ethic has gotten better. The match quality has definitely gotten better.
It's the storylines that.
It's just
Yeah. No, and
Sometimes
that's
it
so
just
he wasn't
doesn't
on mine
work.
either. I mean, that's a big reason. I just the storylines besides really
had
the
a
Cole
blast.
one, I didn't really care that much.
And I had him at 4.
Yeah, I had him
second,
last.
so that put him at 4 points.
Yeah,
That put him at 5.
I wanted to put him higher, but the last like bunch of months for me has just been nothing.
And I get it.
Yeah.
The whole Jay White thing was dragged on and had the worst payoff.
The devil thing.
The devil thing's killing me. I'm
devil thing
all for
slash-
him and Samoa Joe. I'm
Yeah.
all for that feud. If that was by itself,
It'll be great. But with the devil thing, it's like, it's a black cloud that's over
Yeah,
the
it
reign
might.
itself.
because
So
that
moving on.
storyline in itself is either going to be really terrible or like kind of terrible, because it's either Jack Perry, which is gonna go over like a fucking fart in church, or I mean, my other thought would be it's MJF, which is also gonna be like okay,
Yeah.
like
It's
there's
whatever.
no real good payoff to this.
Yeah.
He turns back heel.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's fine, because him being like the overly fucking like white meat fucking baby face right now thing is like, oh, he's laying it on a little thicker than he should, but yeah, it's just like the first half of the year he was great. It's just like after All In and that big match with Adam Cole, it's been like,
A little slowly descending. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but he is number 2, no longer champion, but still got the number 2 spot. Back again at number 2, Dominic Mysterio.
No, and
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, although I know he's heel and everything, and I
Lost the belt
like him
twice.
as a heel. I like, the him being North American champion. I think is a good place for him to be right now. You
Well, he's
know,
no longer North
no
American
longer, but I guarantee that I would not be surprised if that's not for long.
He dethrones Gunther.
Oh my god.
But he has
That would be
there
the
was-
amount of heat from that
would be
alone.
amazing. But I
Fuck
mean,
yeah.
it did get to a point where he was working all 3 shows
Yeah.
every week, which ties back into being most improved because he was having good matches
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 nights a week. Like it wasn't like he had a dud on Monday and then Tuesday and Friday were good, or he had a dud on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like he was having good matches all week.
I mean, yeah, they're putting him in the ring against Randy. You know, it's like the first person
Right.
he's wrestling. So I mean,
So it's I'm gonna probably go on to say that he might be CM Punk's first match back too, like not big match.
yeah.
I think
I
the
think he
big
already
match is
announced
probably
that.
gonna be. Did they?
Yeah.
I say I didn't
think it is-
remember.
I think it is against Dom. It's like Madison Square Garden or something like that.
But that makes
But-
sense.
His first televised match is going to be the Royal Rumble.
Yes. So that's what I mean. Not a big match
Yeah.
where it's like the Rumble, but I think his first Raw match is gonna be
Dom.
Dom, which
Which
is fine. And
Yeah.
Dom threw him a little shot on Twitter when he came back, which was kind of funny because he was talking about his 0-2 UFC record, and then I wanted to be like, yeah, but he's 2-0 in backstage. So, like, that's a 2-2 record. You don't want to take that chance. That's a 50-50
that's
chance.
enough to be dangerous.
get pushed against some glass, boy.
Okay, so I get the feeling I know what number one's gonna be.
No.
Really?
There's no, I'm saying there's no doubt
no
about
doubt.
it that we all
Yeah.
know. We all know who number one is.
I feel like
It's it's Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gunther. There's no
I like a lot.
Yeah. He has 13 points between the three of us.
Yeah, you'd be
So-
surprised. Unless I even had him on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
There
hate
was
him.
no way you
Yeah,
could-
and I don't like him that much.
Yeah.
He's grown. It's grown on me. I will say it
Yeah,
is definitely grown on me.
I mean, he was my number one.
Number 3.
Actually, yeah, and number one for me.
So
I guess
had
I'm the only one that put Athena on my.
Yeah.
so I had Dominic at 1. I had Usos at 2.
Yep.
Which, looking back, that I don't think that technically should have counted, but I had Gunther at 3, Io Sky at 4, and then Judgment Day at 5.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't specify Finn and Damien just because I feel like it's a collective
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like,
Yeah. Who you were talking about.
yeah,
Didn't matter. Didn't
matter whatsoever. Didn't make the cut.
I had Gunther at 1.
Yep.
MJF at 2.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy at 3.
That makes sense. Why you
Christian
had him on the
Cage.
list.
Christian Cage at 4.
That's not a bad
and
one
Seth
either.
Rollins at 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had Gunther number 1. I had Athena number 2 because she's been the top
The forever
women's
champion.
wrestler for AEW/ROH. Dom at number 3.
Yep.
Seth at 4 and MJF at 5.
Which is funny. Athena is the new Roman Reigns of ROH. Because she's been champion so long and they have no plans of her dropping that belt, they introduced another title. The ROH Women's TV title.
Jesus.
AKA the World
Need
Heavyweight
more
title.
fucking title.
Yeah. So, fun thing. Moving on.
This one's gonna be the weird one, isn't it?
This is the weird one. So, Pop of the Year. I should have elaborated this on more,
This is all Portal's fault.
but I feel like me and Olaf got the general idea.
All right, you don't have to sit there and you didn't have to say that. You could have something alone.
Kind of took it a little different. Not you actually.
Olaf,
pretty
you're gonna
much nailed it.
laugh at what some of mine were. You're gonna laugh.
One of these, number 4 is a 3-way tie. We're gonna have to.
Okay.
I'll just bow out since all mine apparently are
Yeah.
shit.
I don't know.
No. Actually, it's a 4-way tie.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Even
Yeah.
more intriguing.
I'm confused. Whatever.
All right.
We'll see.
Start from the bottom.
Number 5. Jimmy kicks Roman.
Okay.
That's and Adam Copeland returns. Debuts at AEW. Those are at 2 apiece.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
almost put that on my
Okay.
list. But it wasn't on my list.
Hearing that, we definitely had different
Yes.
ideas. So that's
So-
on me.
Yeah.
And
I get
now
it.
I'm intrigued to see what your list is once we're done with this. But
So, number 4. This one's a fucking doozy because I wrote this out randomly. I'm guessing. Randy returns.
Okay.
Survivor Series.
Really? That low?
The Rock. I'm assuming this is SmackDown.
yeah, I
This is
specified.
SmackDown one. Yeah, I kind of was typing this up really quickly because how it's written out is weird. Usos Money in the Bank, which is definitely mine. This is when
Oh, when they beat
they hit
Rum.
yeah
Yeah.
when Roman's first pinfall loss.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That pop in the UK is actually pretty good.
Yep.
And rounding it out, Carlito returning in Backlash.
Hey, Carlito.
I had for me I put Savio
Yeah.
/ Carlito for
and
Backlash.
he put Carlito.
Carlito.
So I just it to Carlito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carlito.
I don't. The Rock coming back, it's such a non-factor to me. Because isn't it the one
Is
where
that
it's
you,
like
Olas? Are you
Yeah.
the Rock?
Yeah, definitely him.
Yeah.
Isn't it one where McAfee, Austin Theory, The Rock, and someone else are all in the ring and they're all
It's
happy to
no,
wear
it's
black
just
and white
it's
beaters?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just McAfee, Rock, and
Austin Theory.
Austin, and they're
Okay.
all in the black beaters.
Yeah, fucking weird. It's like
It's like,
I don't like that
do we all
I
have
don't-
is this like a before and after, like
but I
the
mean, the
Nutrisystem,
pop-
or
For me, the reason
The
I
pop
put it
was
on
good.
was because the pop was insane. Because nobody
Yeah.
expected it. It wasn't announced. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it was a genuine.
I just feel like that would
shocking
be,
surprise.
but I feel like that would be a normal The Rock pop anyway for like him
Still a
being
big-
gone for a while.
Still a big pop of the year.
Yeah, it was a big pop, but I would rather give it to Randy.
That's fine. We can give it to Randy.
It's Randy or Usos at that point.
Yeah, I would be fine to bow out Carlito for that one because
Yeah,
as
that's
cool as it
fine.
was, I'm probably in a minor.
Well, because I have Backlash on there twice, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. Not
Oh yeah. So we'll give it to Randy and Usos
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
That's cool.
okay
Yeah.
with the repeats. All right.
Because for
so
me,
number-
they come back. So
Yeah. So number 3. Fucking hate to say this one. CM Punk returns to AEW at 4 points. Fucking A.
Oh man.
So that was your number 1 and your number 2 is the same person.
Yep. Damn
Yeah,
right it
yeah.
was.
So someone decided it would be funny to put CM Punk twice on a fucking
Does
list.
it make
and I had to
sense?
I had to specify.
The pop
I
in
mean, it-
AEW and the pop in
it
WWE.
It makes sense.
It does.
You're
But
just
it's
mad
funny
because
that
2 of my answers were on the same night, okay?
It was like
It's-
back, it was you wrote it out the same way. Big bold letters. CM Punk, CM Punk. So I'm like,
Yeah.
are you sure?
I hope you like highlighted it in bold.
No, you'll-
just for
Yeah.
fun.
As
We're
funny
taking
as
the-
that is, Olash, when we get done, you're gonna laugh at what my number 5 was.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So number 2. Oh, let's bring it back. Bad Bunny.
Okay.
The Bad Bunny entrance.
Oh.
That's a great pop. I still listen to that pop.
Ah,
Just
love
them
it.
singing his song. You couldn't
That was
plan
great.
that no better.
to me, even though I put it number 2, I think it's still huge because of where it was, because they were just fucking so all together loudly singing every word to that
Mhm.
song. Like it
I listened to that
that's
song
great.
for like 2 weeks after
Yeah.
and the backlash happened. I promise you that song was stuck in my head because of that.
It's a good one.
So number 1, easy pick. CM Punk Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Hell has frozen over.
I
CM
gotta
Punk
get that
is on the-
shirt.
He's back home. Back home.
Shut up.
Back
Fucking-
home.
If you say back home one more time, I'm quitting this fucking podcast. Fucking
See,
his
but
home is ROH.
here's the thing though. At
If you want to be
least
that guy.
that makes sense. When
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, come home to the company you've never worked at before," then it's like, dude, you sound like a fucking moron.
No,
And we'll get back to that because that's gonna be on there.
I hate that come home thing to no matter who it is because they're doing it for Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. Like, oh, she's coming back home. Like, all right, calm your fucking tits.
But
Don't
I
say
mean,
that's home.
she yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like the phrase "coming home" because it makes it feel like territorial. Like, oh, she could never work in, because it always comes in the space of she couldn't make it nowhere else, so she has to come back to WWE.
I
or
don't
CM
think
Punk
that's how
has to
people
come-
taking it. I
Those are the
I mean
way-
that's not
the
how
way
I
read
took it. See, from what I read about it is it was very much a Vince thing. So like, hey, Hogan, he left, he went to WCW. When he came back, he was like, oh, hey, welcome home, because obviously that's
Yeah.
where he made
Yeah.
his name, right? Same thing with Sasha. That's where she made her name. She wasn't gaining any
Like
traction on
Brett,
the indies as yeah, it's the same thing. And
I just
for
I
as
just
much
don't
as
like the
Punk
phrase.
had a big thing in ROH, and but where he had his most success was WWE. So like, for him to say I'm home because that was like a childhood dream of his to go there. Like that's fine. I don't take it as like a shot to anything else, as like a, oh, you couldn't make it there kind of thing. It's the same thing with like Cody technically coming home because that's where he made his. I mean, listen, he obviously did a lot of work on the indies and then obviously helped create AEW, but
Yep.
Fun fact, do you
I'm just
know
not-
go ahead.
I'm just not a fan of the phrase.
Yeah,
That's-
no, it's
I get
That's
the
okay.
sentiment of it. I just don't like when people use it because
I just don't think it's
like a
just-
tribalism thing. I just
Yeah, see, I
it
never
rubs
took
me
it
the
that
wrong
way.
way.
I never took it that way. Because if Cody were to leave WWE and go back to AEW and people were like, "Oh, welcome back home," I wouldn't see a problem with that either.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, that's something he helped create. I'm okay with that.
Weird CM Punk fact. Do you know who CM Punk's first WWE match was against?
Like,
I'll give you a hint. It was a tag match.
Was he with Kofi Kingston?
No,
Wow.
it was
Evan
They
it
Bourne.
was
were tag champs though.
it was against Maven
Ah,
from Tough Enough and Simon the fucking like
Simon Dean,
Yeah,
the personal instructor.
yeah.
Oh,
I
who was
forget
he
who
tag with?
the tag he was with. But yeah, it was Maven. Fun fact for those that remember who the
Fuck
fuck Maven
Maven.
was.
Yeah, everyone knows now because I don't like that thumbnail he recently put out.
Oh, I haven't seen.
It's like people he works with, and it's a picture of him holding up a picture of I'm not gonna say his name. Redacted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like okay, you're pushing this now.
Benoit.
Man, that's like two
Yeah.
people in the last like month that have both brought him up. That's weird.
Taker was the other one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Olas. The issue I had is there's a theme with my five.
Okay.
So when I heard pop, I'm thinking return.
Okay.
So like people like coming back that haven't been around for a bit or stuff like that. So naturally, my first two were CM Punk because haha funny, he his return.
Yeah.
And then I had Randy because that was a good pop, and I had Carlito. And then I
Okay.
had kind of a out of left field one because I thought it was a huge pop when it happened. Was Booker T at the Royal Rumble.
I fucking saw that one and laughed.
But I'm also a big Booker T fan, so that's probably a little slighted.
Yeah.
No,
That
had
never
I
happened.
actually understood, I would have probably put Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, his entrance, because that was a huge
Yeah.
pop. I would have put Selena at Backlash,
Yeah.
kind of on that same level with Bad Bunny, where just such a her
no.
home. Well, no,
No.
but like for
No.
you all that same level of what you felt for
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, but for me was like Selena's pop there. So yeah,
You know
but-
what? I could have probably given it to her over like Carlito and Savio too. I don't know. That was still a big.
No, I Zelina's. I feel like
Because
Zelina got a
Carlito's
bigger
dad
pop.
obviously ran Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
so him returning to WWE in Puerto Rico
big.
Was a thing.
wasn't understandably huge pop.
But so yeah, it wasn't me just being stupid. It was me
Yeah.
misunderstanding
Oh no,
in my head of like, oh, okay, this is like moments in general. And then once
Yeah.
you all clarified that, I was like, fuck, okay.
But that's on me for not like clarifying it as we did it. But the one that didn't make it in for me was Will Ospreay's entrance at All In.
Yeah.
Got it. Like that hometown. If that Coliseum was closed, the stadium was closed, it'd have been way louder than that was.
The only other thing that I think matched that for that night was the MJF Adam Cole match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Adam
So that's why, like, for
The
me, I
boom.
couldn't.
like
couldn't.
them singing MJF's theme, Adam Cole boom moment, like it was great. But I'm like, I have to give it to Will Ospreay because that pop alone is probably why he signed to AEW.
Yeah. I
All right.
tell you something I wanted to put on the list and then went back and watched it and realized that nobody, like the crowd was dead. I was like, oh man, didn't Swerve get like a really good reaction in Seattle? And it was only for like the first 10 seconds. And then it like you look at the crowd and
Yeah.
like half of them are just sitting on their hands and you're like,
Get a swerve when you drive.
Like the entrance was so good, and the
It just hit the mic though.
yeah.
So moving on to our male wrestlers of the year. Okay, I was about to say no. That's wrong.
I feel like you two are gonna be pretty agreed, and the mine are gonna be the ones that are just all over the place.
I don't know.
This one's a lot of time.
I guarantee none of you have my top two.
The you'd be surprised. All right, so starting at number 5, it's a tie. Chad Gable and Jay Uso,
Hey,
Okay.
which that's only because of Onyx. 'Cause
sorry.
I did not put Chad Gable on this fucking list.
Neither did I.
Don't you disrespect Chad Gable.
It's okay, but
Chad Gable's he's gonna be the next Kurt eventually.
he had the thing with Gunther, lost, had his kids cry on national TV.
Yeah, I mean they're not doing a
He's
lot with
back
him
to
at the
being a
moment.
comedy gimmick.
Yeah.
Shorty G all over again.
It's like, okay, hold on. We're not there yet.
No, he's winning matches.
Yeah.
They're gonna put him back in the G. He's gonna be top G.
Top G.
Top G, yeah. Now he's got to come to the ring in a Bugatti.
Bugatti.
Number 4, again, Onyx with the weird pick. Dragon Lee and Christian Cage.
Leave Dragon Lee has been amazing.
He's okay.
He's amazing.
There are definitely people I would put over Dragon Lee.
Who?
Most of my list.
He's got, I was gonna say he's got a list.
He's not on mine.
Was Christian on your list?
Yeah, he was the 2.
Not for me.
He wasn't on yours.
Nah.
Yeah, he was my 4th, so my second to last.
Like Christian putting in fantastic work. Some of the best work of his career. Some of the best heel work in the fucking.
See, it's kind of funny because I started this list like really character heavy, and then a lot of these are because I like their in-ring work.
Yeah, it's like we swapped. It became like so.
But I mean, Christian's always been really good in the ring too.
Yeah,
so, like it's not even a.
Like he's a mix.
Also, in my defense, I kind of omit a lot of AEW because I don't watch it consistently. So I don't think it's fair for me to like, outside of a few people that I'm consistently like I watch stuff about. It's not fair for me to kind of give like MJF and Adam Cole. Like I watched that, and was invested in that.
Like telling these scores is like it's a lot of AEW representation that I did not expect.
That's fair. I mean, you two both watch AEW, so I mean, it would make sense.
But also, given the fact that Olas is more of a, I would say he's more leaning into WWE than I am.
No, like, I would say he's just more critical of AEW stupid shit. I think that's what it is.
But I would say if you put like you would be.
Olas I'm the WWE guy, absolutely. Yeah,
and I would be the AEW, so Olas would be like the middleman.
Yeah.
That's what makes this work.
Yeah. That's why there's 3 of us. 4 would just be too many.
Yeah.
No. Imagine telling.
And that guy's probably going to be his schmuck anyway. So
right. He watches our ROH or fucking TNA or something.
We just need a female. We need a female.
Yeah, we need a female who watches ROH and Impact.
Yeah. Round it out.
ROH and Stardom. Only ROH and Stardom.
Okay.
That evens it out.
We got number TNA love in there.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'll start watching it again once they switch back to TNA.
Yeah. Number 3. It's a tie. Dominic Mysterio and MJF. Battle of the Dickheads.
Okay.
Which surprisingly
that's you. That's you two.
Again, it's the latter half of his reign.
I didn't have MJF on my list.
Yeah, that's only me because I had him at 4.
Gotcha.
I had him at number 2. I would have had him at number 1, but yeah. The reign is kind of.
And that's why I left him off.
Yeah. So, actually, MJF was in my top, but surprisingly, I should have swapped him out for this person.
Dominic was number 2. 1.
Yeah. So, number 2, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Which he can't put on a bad match.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Which,
from what I've seen of him,
like him time with AEW, his match at Wrestle Kingdom, his match at Forbidden Door 2, even his match at Impact, great match. Like He has put on a killer year, and I don't see how anybody could put a top 5 list together and not include Will Ospreay
Sorry.
in some form. Sorry.
Oops. Didn't get the memo. My bad.
But number one is the one that like surprised me. Number 1 wrestler of the year for the men is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that. That's the thing. He was not on my list.
Fuck yeah.
He was my number 2. I think I mean if we're talking purely in ring work, he's not going to be on my top 5, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good combination. I think his in-ring work is okay.
He's really gotten himself over and really like became a must-see person that like
Oh yeah.
he was coming out for fucking 5-minute segments just to talk on the entryway, just so that the crowd gets to see him. Then,
Yeah.
like,
well, you just think. I mean, this time last year, he was doing a Pitch Black, or that's
Pitch
Royal
Black match
Rumble
was this year.
That's sorry. I was trying to correct myself.
Last year was the male
almost this time. Last year he was doing Pitch Black, and not to say not to put disrespect on Bray Wyatt, but it was a very not great match for him.
No. That was more Mountain Dew sponsoring.
Yeah,
them having to work around that. But think about last year, he was doing the maximum male models thing.
That too, yeah.
So it's like he went from that to
he has literally had to make himself where he is.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think a combination of his outer ring work, and yeah, he's not the most he's a bit of a John Cena in the ring.
He's better than Cena is.
Well, but I mean, just that consistency of he's not over the top. He's not, but it's good, clean wrestling. Usually, it's just nothing, over the top.
He has a very grounded style.
Yeah, I would put it like a Stone Cold, where there's nothing, in particular.
It's not flashy, but it gets the job.
Yeah, but it's just a combination of that and his mic work and his outer ring work just make him that good.
Puts him over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I'm curious. So, okay, Olas, what was your 5?
I had Dom.
Okay.
LA Knight, Ospreay, Christian Cage, and Rollins.
Okay.
Rollins getting kicked out. Mine was MJF, Will Ospreay, Jey Uso, Christian Cage, and Gunther rounding it out.
Okay. So I had LA Knight at 1, Dragon Lee at 2, Chad Gable at 3, Cody Rhodes at 4, and then Dragunov at 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think everything he's done this year has just been a banger.
I shouldn't have left him off. Yeah.
Gunther just eased out Carmelo and Dragunov.
I will say this, and going back and kind of watching, because I oddly enough went back and I've watched quite a bit of Gunther stuff here lately, just in passing time. He does put good matches on, although I still don't care for him outside of the ring. He does, every match that he does is a great match.
But speaking of Dragunov, have you seen Gunther versus Dragunov?
No, I have not gotten to that yet.
I need you to watch that.
Okay.
Can we watch it together?
Yeah, that's
because it's so
an extra
good.
video of just us reacting to us two reacting to you watching that match is probably just enough. Because they did even WWE
did their own reaction video.
It was like Drew fucking looked like he felt the pain from the camera.
Yeah, there was a couple of guys on there that it was.
There's a reason why Dragunov was the one to finally dethrone Gunther's long ass reign as UK champion. So,
it's a tough watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thinking about it makes my chest hurt a little bit.
Fuck.
So from the men, we go on to the women.
Finally getting me some women representation.
Seeing the list is kind of odd between the three of us, but it's not that surprising that this is how this list turned up. So rounding up, number 5, Becky Lynch. At 5
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Becky was not on my list because her year has not been the best. She's just been around. like she hasn't really done much.
I see. I like the months
Other
of
than
her
the
being the
Trish thing,
defending champion. You know, just whoever
the
wanted a
NXT,
piece get a piece.
yeah, the NXT champion, great run, but I feel like some people did it better.
Yeah.
There were better women on the roster, not in WWE, but elsewhere. Solid pick, but number 4, timeless Tony Storm with 6 points.
That's, you know, I didn't have her, but I get it.
Got it out the mud. She took chicken shit and turned it into chicken salad.
Yeah.
So I get her place. She's
No,
done great work.
absolutely.
She
Yeah.
continued to, whatever her name is, Melissa May. She's definitely turning on
Ryan.
Tony. Yeah, she's definitely turning on Tony, and they're gonna have a great match. Because they're building up the fact that she hasn't had her first match in AEW, and they won't announce against who. It's gonna be against Tony.
Yeah.
She's gonna hit her with that fucking belt. It's gonna be a great match, honestly. Moving on to number 3, Io Sky.
Okay. No,
We're gonna love the
here's the thing
trend.
with EO is minimum expectation of what they were gonna do with her has to me been exceeded.
Yeah.
Because it's actually been enjoyable to watch, and is, you know, because I think you and I especially kind of had that moment of like, okay, like what are they gonna fucking do with her? Like this is such a random choice to make champ, and then, you know, but no, I think they've done very well with her. I find her very enjoyable.
It
You
makes
know.
sense to me because she was really solid in NXT,
Yeah.
and Triple H was really high on her in NXT. So seeing her actually get to be the champ and not like get fucked over
Yeah.
is kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Because I definitely
Um,
thought it was gonna be a like in between champion, you know.
But
And
Io
That was my
actually
concern.
ranked bottom for me.
really, see, she was
Yeah,
number
the
one
only
for me.
reason- The only reason she ranked bottom is solely because of the fact that even though she is the champ, she was Miss Money in the Bank, great run up until getting about, but she still feels like a part of the group. She doesn't feel like the leader of Damage Control, even though she's the champion. She doesn't feel like the most important person of that group. It still feels like Bailey is the center focus of Damage Control, even though she has lost the most.
I
And that's
think
what
just 'cause
pushed her down.
from a talking standpoint.
Yeah.
Because I put it the
mean,
same like Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, where it's like, you know,
No.
she's the mouthpiece
No, there's-
until, you know.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like I'm more interested in what Bailey is doing with the group than EO defending her belt.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm more waiting on when are they gonna turn on Bailey and where
yeah.
is this going.
Yep.
But it's more focused on Bailey than Bailey and Kyrie are the focus right now.
Hmm.
So, that's my thing. Number 2, running with another champion. Not WWE though.
Oh,
ROH, Athena, running out number 2. The
That's you
forever
two.
champion. Yeah, the forever champion. Has been champion so long, they made another belt so the other women can have a turn.
it's just the Roman
She-
Reigns.
Yeah, she really is. But her matches have been great. She's held up ROH, and it's weird because she's the only champion who isn't defending her belt on AEW TV as well.
Yep.
Everyone else
Good.
got a turn on
which is
defending
also weird.
because they only let one women's match, and they didn't want to put ROH on there.
Hmm.
That's what it is. It's the lack of booking of women on AEW television. It's weird. But
There you go,
her-
Onyx. You and Tony got something in common. You both hate
don't
women's
like
wrestling.
women. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
Starts yawning when we talk about women wrestling.
Yeah,
I
see, I
like
brought
the
it up,
worst,
he's like,
the
"Oh."
worst time it could have happened to.
Yawn.
Been holding that yawn in for so
women.
long.
Yeah, he knew when to release it. Women.
So
Am I
wait,
right?
this is- Hey, calm down. I just gave EO like a really good.
It's
Yeah.
the bathroom break spot.
If you go take your dogs out, go, you know, go make a sandwich.
But yeah, no, she has been doing great work. I really wanted Billy Stark to win that belt.
I have
off
to
her
watch
yesterday.
more of her stuff because
Saturday.
I was a fan of her in WWE, so I'll have to watch her a little bit more.
You mean Ember Moo?
Amber move.
No, I just remember her debut. Nia Jax introduced her as her partner, and did not pronounce her name right. She said
Jesus.
Ember Moo,
Jesus.
not Moon. That will never leave my memory.
Ah, Nia Jax. Can't wait for you to tell us she's number one on the list for female wrestler. of the year.
Fuck no.
Yeah, in top of your guys' list.
Number one, surprisingly, Bianca Belair. I'm just fucking with you. It's Rhea Ripley.
I was saying, it's like, all right. I mean, it's your whatever.
That reaction would- like, just
They ain't done jack shit, but okay.
she won a champion for
Yeah,
won a
I mean,
championship
you
for
know.
5 seconds. No explanation. Bianca Rhea Ripley is your number.
I fucked him up now. He's all fucked up about it. He's
Fucked up
upset.
all
He
She's in Hawaii right now. Who cares?
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, great. She raised $100 in donations just by licking a piece of napkin.
I know, man.
she-
Xavier Wood was about to buy that motherfucker.
He was having flashbacks.
He's like, what's that at?
Yeah, what's the website again?
About to risk it all.
But yeah, no. Great matches, except for that one match recently. But
The what? The
again.
Zoe Stark one?
no.
Or no?
Chick
Shit.
from Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Maxine Dupree. or
Maxine
whatever?
Dupree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's more of Maxine just being green as goof shit.
Yeah.
So not her fault. If you put her with someone who works well, she will put.
Oh,
will
I
give
know.
you a
All the
great
AEW
match.
guys were just shitting all over that one moment where she goes to
Yeah,
power
it's like-
bomb her. It's like, okay, let me pull up some Pentagon fucking matches and
there-
let's.
No, the Vikingo WWE fans shit on Vikingo this weekend.
Oh yeah,
I'll show. It's
yeah.
it's a certain spot where he does like a backflip off the back ropes, but he fucked up and loses his balance. So he jumps down, runs the rope again, tries to do it again, fucks up again, then drops to the floor, jumps back on the ropes, and then does a spot. While the
Having
guy has been
Sin Cara
standing,
flashbacks.
while the guy has been standing there
He's just like,
for about 5 minutes. It feels like a fucking.
Brother, this guy stinks!
That's what it feels like. But no, Rhea Ripley has been doing great character work. Her promos have gotten better. She carried Zoe Stark through an actual program where people cared if she won that belt.
Yep.
But like from WrestleMania getting the belt till now, she has done nothing but great work.
yeah. Oh, that's
As the leader of the Judgment Day, no debate. So now we
true.
get to our final list.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
I want to hear where you guys had people at.
okay. I'll start it off. Io Sky was at the bottom. Julia Hart was my number 4. Tony Storm was number 3. Athena number 2. Rhea number 1.
Okay. All us.
I had Becky last, then Io, then Tony Storm, then Rhea, then Athena.
Okay. So you're gonna notice from my list, there's quite a less amount of AEW.
Yeah.
I had Zoe Stark at 5, Valkyrie at 4, Rhea Ripley at 3, Lynch at 2, and then Io at 1. I don't know. Zoe Stark's growing on me. I like her character better than I do Shayna Baszler, even though it's kind of the same character.
I would have put Lash Legend over fucking Zoe Stark.
I mean, she did body slam fucking Otis.
Oh yeah, that's
Strong ass woman.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton would have been a better pick. I'm sorry.
yeah. All right, no,
Actually,
sorry.
I might have put Tiffany Stratton. Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on. Match of the year. This is the final one.
Is that a
We
clusterfuck?
have a couple. We have a couple where we need to talk about. It's just one, honestly.
I was gonna say, is number 1
We'll
pretty
go from
decisive?
5. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a decisive 10 to then it drops to 5. Number 5. Usos versus Bloodline / Hangman and Swerve.
Okay.
Okay.
Decent amount of points.
I would
Like-
say Swerve and Hangman for me takes that more than the Usos one does.
Yeah.
I-
Give
But
me-
I've also become kind of a big fan of Swerve here lately, so that's probably part of that.
Yeah, so I had Usos versus Roman and Solo because of just the
Him
what
being
happened.
pinned for the
Yeah,
first time. Yeah.
like the excitement that brought. I don't think the match quality was
the
the
best.
same. But I think fuck. I think the just Roman getting pinned
Yeah.
for the first time in 3 years was like a fucking holy shit kind of moment.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I
so
get it.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with those being tied.
Yeah. Like reasonable. There
I
are
didn't have either of those. That's just why I was kind of putting my two
two
cents
ends of
in.
the spectrum.
Yeah.
So number 4. Adam Cole versus MJF. The 3
Okay.
points. Which
That's
surprised.
surprising to me.
Yeah.
I would have put that. I would have thought that would have been higher.
I
And
didn't have it.
there were way better matches. That's basically off me, but
No, it's me and you.
number 3. It's a tie. This is a 3-way tie.
Ooh,
Number
okay.
3.
Charlotte and Rhea at WrestleMania. The U.S. Elimination Chamber match.
Okay.
And Gable versus Gunther. Didn't know which one you meant.
The Raw match.
Okay.
The
Fucking-
IC title match. Sorry, I figured that was kind
No,
of.
I knew for the IC title. I just didn't know because I felt like they've wrestled multiple times. I was
They
like,
did. Yeah. Because there's the count out victory.
Yeah, I felt
I-
like the clear and decisive
Yeah,
match.
Like
The match.
pinned.
I figured.
Yeah.
I stand on my ground that Charlotte and Rhea had the better match out of those 3.
I do too.
You know, I'll be honest.
Even though I had them
didn't
opposite on my list. but-
think about that, but yeah, I mean it was a
Like,
good
it's
match.
a
No, it
great
was very
match.
yeah.
Should have main event at WrestleMania, but I get why they wanted to have the Bloodline Part 1 finale as the main event.
Especially when they did that finish for night 2. Made sense.
Yeah. So we're officially declaring
Yeah.
Charlotte and Rhea.
I'll
for
bow
number 3.
mine out for that one.
All right. So number 2 is a tie between 2. We have Ospreay versus Omega, Forbidden Door.
Okay.
And tied is Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Both great matches.
Yep.
Both hard hitting matches.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Like-
those being tied. Yeah.
Like there is no debate that though they were putting on clinics for those matches. I also recommend the Wrestle Kingdom match for Ospreay and Omega, but I feel like the Forbidden Door match just edges it out a little bit more.
Yeah. I think that's a good number 2.
Yeah. Number 1, which I did not expect. I kind of expected because Olas. But MJF versus Danielson, the 60-minute
shit.
Iron Man match, is a solid, like, it is the best match.
I took a bunch of L's
of
on this one.
Yeah, it is the best match of MJF's career.
Yep.
Hard stop. No debate. And Danielson putting on a fucking another classic to add to his fucking list of classics just for the year. Surprisingly,
I mean-
he's not on the male wrestler of the year because of injuries. But
Yeah.
when he's active,
Yeah, I
He's
mean, we
putting in
could
nothing but
have
work.
snuck him in on 2 other spots of match of the year too. Like it's
exactly. We have the Okada match.
Yep.
You have Anarchy at the Arena. Well, that's just for me.
Yeah.
But they were all like the lists weren't that diverse, but
I
for,
know,
like,
man. I got handed. Well, I guess we mentioned 3 of mine. 3
Yeah.
of the 5.
like most of our matches got represented in the long run.
Yeah, all of mine were on there.
So I had number 5. I had Seth versus Logan Paul
Yeah,
because I generally thought
That's
that was a
cool.
very enjoyable match.
it is, but
Oddly enough, most of mine were
WrestleMania.
3 of mine were WrestleMania matches.
Yeah.
That's I didn't even realize. So I had 4. I had Gunther versus Sheamus versus McIntyre.
Yep.
3 I had Cole versus MJF. 2 was the Elimination Chamber US match, and then 1 I had Rhodes versus Reigns.
Yep. Weird.
Oh, he froze. Oh no, he didn't. I just that was perfect. He
No.
like froze perfectly for the amount of time that was concerning.
No, no,
Like
realized
mid
something.
sentence too. He was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I realized something. That means we have another tie.
Oh shit.
Because you put Roman and Rhodes at number 1,
Yeah.
putting that at 5 points. It would tie for number 2.
It's fine. I'll bow out.
Because it's between Osprey and Omega versus Gunther, and honestly, I'll put Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus at number 2.
I'll bow it
Like, it
out.
works.
It's fine.
Not you don't have to bow it out.
No, I think
It gets honorable mention, but
the
that-
Gunther match, yeah, I mean, was equally as good.
I think the Rhodes Roman thing is just the pinnacle of Roman Reigns matches
Yeah.
to a default. Like,
I still think that would have been the perfect time for him to lose that title.
oh no, if he would have dropped the belt, we would be having a different
Yeah.
conversation.
I
that
think
would
probably
probably
been-
be in the running for match of the year."
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Just-
they
just
had such a
because of
great
Raw.
setup to have that belt transition, and they
So
just
fast forward to next year, around this time when we do this again, and we put that WrestleMania Night 2 match on there because he'll actually lose it this time.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll be putting fucking let's see. Who's gonna
now that I understand these lists a little better.
Yeah. It's the test run for year 1.
Yeah.
We have a little kinks to work out.
I'll work on my pop of the year list.
Yeah. I might swap that out first. We might swap out some categories and add in more categories as time goes on to perfect this. But
Well, there's people watching. Let
yeah,
us know what categories we should add. If there's something you want to see,
'Cause-
we'll see if it's shit or not.
because my match of the year was Rhea and Charlotte at 1. That's the first one. Hangman and Swerve at 4. Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus at 3. Osprey Omega 2. And MGF and Danielson at 1.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, Les, what you got?
going bottom to top, I went Omega Osprey. Then Usos versus Roman and Solo. Charlotte versus Rhea. Gable versus Gunther, and then Danielson against MJ
Yeah. Okay.
for the number 1 match. Yeah.
Well, Porto, I think you did an excellent job putting this
Yes.
together.
thank you.
So
Hopefully we'll do it better
kudos.
next year.
I think
it
next
was great
time
this
we'll-
year.
Try to collaborate in making maybe like a little graphic for it.
Yeah.
Make it
Yeah.
easier for you to kind of keep it, and we can kind of all just do a once over on it. Make sure that there's no whoopsie daisy 3-way ties, and then
Yeah. We'll have a deeper conversation about ties and how to work out
Yeah.
tiebreakers.
Yeah. You know,
But for a first run,
yeah, not too
pretty
bad.
good.
Maybe Portal will do better math next year. You know,
Yeah.
get him
I
a
mean, I was
don't worry,
thinking-
ladies and gentlemen, we'll get him a calculator.
I was raised in the
Uh,
South. Math ain't my strong suit.
Well, so as always, that brings us to the end of the end for the year.
Wait,
Oh.
we had,
Did I
I
miss
had one
something?
thing. Remember?
That's right. See, this is what happens when you drop shit on me last minute, like a fucking
Yeah.
You know,
How dare I
God,
do the thing you do to
fucking-
us every
God,
fucking week,
fucking-
you cocksucker
damn it.
son of a bitch.
Yo,
Olas, go ahead. Go ahead, Olas. Go ahead.
So, I was gonna ask you guys to name 2 to 3 pet peeves when it comes to wrestling, and it could be about anything in terms of actual in-ring things that pet peeve. You kind of touched on like the whole home thing is a pet peeve.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's
It can be-
there's
it can
portals
be
too.
fans. It can be a fan based thing. It could be a couple of different things. So
Uh,
I'll let you guys kind of go first.
Oh, I can round mine out because I already did the
Yeah.
one.
He
the
already,
whole
he
thing.
already hates the come home thing.
Yeah. Number 2, the fucking what chant. It needs to fucking die.
Yeah.
What?
It needs to Shut up. No,
Good-
it
good
just needs
resist.
to die because
I
Stone
agree.
Cold is no longer wrestling. Stop doing it, especially when you're doing it
Been
because you're
over
bored.
20 years.
Yeah.
It's It's
Like
too
you're
much.
doing it because you're bored and you're detracting from the promo. Fuck off. You're not clever. You're not funny. This needs to die.
And it can ruin some like what could have been good promos and like
Run, runner up and honorable mention because it falls in the same fucking category. Stop singing Seth Rollins' theme when people are talking. Finn
Yeah,
Balor got fucking ruined by that promo because
Yeah.
they wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Ruined a great promo by Finn Balor because they're too busy singing the song.
true. No, I also get annoyed with the singing. I just think it ruins too many good promos that if you just fucking listen to, you'd been like, oh, this is great.
if they were to just do it when he stands there and does this for a minute, I'm fine with it. But beyond that, it needs to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. When his entrance stops, the singing needs to stop.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I agree. That's a good one. I didn't even think the stupid ass singing. And I wouldn't even just say with his song. I think anybody they do it with.
But they don't.
There's
I don't think the singing
not as
thing
consistently,
really
but I know that
like,
there's
you don't
times.
see AW crowd start singing fucking Final Countdown.
Yeah, it's because none of them know half the theme songs. Well, no, because they used to do Chris Jericho's all the fucking time.
No, they still do Judas, but they don't ever sing. There's never been a spot where they've actively sung it during a match.
Disagree. I guarantee because I
You-
distinctly
you
remember
find-
like
During
the,
a match.
oh
Not
well,
during a
okay,
match.
gotcha.
It's never
I thought you
been
meant like a
during a-
promo or something.
Even during a promo,
I
heard them
distinctly
actively
remember
broke
the
out into
start
Judas.
of AEW like being televised, that there was one or two instances where they did that, not as annoyingly as Rollins people do, but that it was done like kind of
No,
at the start of the promo.
The only instance I remember of them doing it when there was no music was Jericho like purposely didn't play his entrance music
That's the
and they
MJF
sang
match.
it and they
Maybe
sang
that's
it
what I'm
anyway,
thinking of
like
then.
that.
Okay,
No,
maybe that's what I'm thinking
It's
of.
the what you're thinking of is specifically is Jericho versus MJF, and the Judas effect couldn't be used. It's like he banned Judas from fucking his whole thing, and as a bit, he came out to no music and had the crowd sing Judas.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is then.
But yeah, I would be surprised if they could sing the entirety of fucking Judas while he's cutting a fucking promo.
Jesus.
They don't know the fucking words.
Okay. I got two pretty easy ones that always still to this day are irking me. So one, I hate that nothing can be a surprise anymore. I just want to be surprised by somebody showing up. I don't need 13 different news sources or wrestling news sources telling me CM Punk's at Disneyland, so that must mean he's going to show up on NXT. I want to be surprised. I don't need it ruined. That's why I kind of hated maybe it was CM Punk when his debut at AEW. Where it's like everybody spoiled it. They all knew he was gonna do it. It was just at what point during the show was he gonna do it? Because that's what I at least give what I liked about the WWE pop is that and all three of us watched that we were watching that together. Yeah, or in some degree we were texting each other and it's like, oh shit, they actually,
They fucking did
they
it.
brought him
Man, they
back.
did
Holy
it.
shit,
And which was like 10 seconds after we were like, I guess he's not coming.
Yeah.
And then bam,
Yeah.
like
that's part of the kayfabe days I kind of miss. Is you just never knew when someone was gonna show up. When you are like another good example, and WWE, I will say, I think does a pretty decent job of keeping these things under wraps for the most part. Not always, but like the Hardys coming back at WrestleMania was a huge one. And then to
CM
turn
Punk
around and
coming back the first
win.
time.
Win titles nonetheless. And then Edge showing back up at Rumble.
Yeah.
That's the perfect example of just that. Holy shit. Like I wouldn't have ever thought that he'd wrestle again. And here he is at a Rumble 10 years later, and like, that's just, I want to be surprised again. I want to have that joy of like, you never know what's going to happen on Raw or AEW or, it's
Yeah.
people ruin it.
I think the last time AEW had a surprise that big was Sting.
Yeah,
Winter's coming like 2 years ago.
yeah.
And that was funny because fucking was it? They were on TNT at the time. They got mad that it wasn't advertised like that. It wasn't advertised as Sting return.
Yep.
Because it was that big of a surprise that no one knew it was happening.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brian Danielson, that was a decent surprise.
Was that was the same night as Punk, wasn't it?
Adam Cole.
No, Adam Cole. That's what it was. Yeah.
Because it was a 3-person debut. You had Ruby Soho in the Battle Royal. Then you had Adam Cole, and then you had Brian Danielson.
Yeah.
All in one night.
That's
which is
right.
Fucking insane to think about to this day.
But yeah, I want to be surprised again. I want wrestling to be, I kind of want some of that kayfabe back in that degree. I'm fine with, it not being like it used to be where, you had Hulk and Macho Man on late night TV still in their gimmick. And like, I don't need that, but just let me enjoy just when it happens.
That's the thing.
And then my number one, unless I'm sure you and I kind of agree because we've joked about this numerous times. Stop doing goddamn over the top spots. They're gonna fucking hurt somebody for the sake of doing a spot that's not needed. Like if I have to see them break a fucking leg again because you had to do something that was completely unnecessary, that added zero sustenance to the match, I just don't get that. And this is at the AEW people, because it's mainly AEW that does this shit. Like you're gonna kill somebody. Edge and them got decommissioned for way less. And we're just doing nonsense for the sake of nonsense. I don't get it. It doesn't make me go wow anymore. To agree, you can only do so much in wrestling. As long as you're making it look good, making it look clean, and it flows well, it'll look impressive. I don't need some triple backflip off a ladder through 6 tables and then you get lit on fire. I don't need that.
All to win with a forearm smash.
Yeah, like
to
do nothing with it. And
that was always something that I've laughed about. It's like, all right, we're gonna do a triple Canadian destroyer and then win with like a knee drop or some shit.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what did we do?
You're wasting it. Yeah, that's my 2 big ones.
All right, so one of the things that always kind of peeves me is like the obvious collaboration, like in the sense of like it's obvious that you're like helping that person get to that spot, or like so I clothesline somebody and then they like find themselves crawling over to the corner so that I can do a corner splash of some kind.
Oh, so you mean like every time Finn Balor does the coup de grace? Not every time, but
if you were to
them.
Irish whip him into the corner and then do the kick, like
that's
okay,
clean,
that's
yeah,
fine, right? But it's that like, oh, I did this thing and then
I'm gonna roll 3 times over to the left and
right, and it's like, oh hey, that and the whole like everybody gathers together, just kind of standing around in a huddle so that one guy could jump into the fucking crowd of people. Like it's very obvious of like, all right, let's get this spot ready. Where? Oh, is he lack natural, guys? Huddle. It's like you're not playing rugby. You're fucking trying to fight each other. Like, what are we doing here? Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves is like trying to. It takes me out of a match for a minute.
It's happened a lot in the last like few years too. Like it's become more egregious.
Like it's all right, I'm gonna hit this move, but I need you to get into the corner. So instead of me putting you in the corner, I just need you to bump and then go into the corner.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, oh that hurt. Let me go stumble over to the corner so you can hit me with a clothesline or a splash or like it's goofy to me. Like that always makes me crazy. We already touched on the whole like wait, did we do it on the podcast? I don't remember. Did we do it before the podcast or after?
I know there was one you gave me as an example before the podcast.
Dude referring to Tony Khan as boss.
Yeah.
Even though he's not employed.
Yeah, that was before.
Similar to your thing, the whole like, oh man, come home to that company you've never worked for. Like, it makes more sense when it's a company you have worked for. But for you to be like, oh, come home, ah man, AJ Styles, they're wasting you in WWE. Come home to AEW.
You don't even work here.
If you
Yeah.
said TNA, like I could go,
Maybe.
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's his company. Like that's
Yeah.
where you associate him with. But he's never never worked for AEW. Why?
He was
How can he
supposed
come
to.
home? Sure,
For
but he didn't.
WCW, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Just the overall tribalism, like the unnecessary,
Yeah.
like you have to hate one to like the other. But that's, I mean, that's everything though, right? Like Game of the Year is a prime example of
Yeah.
something that we just like. You have to hate Spider-Man 2 because you love Baldur's Gate, or you have to hate Baldur's Gate because you love Spider-Man, or like you don't have to hate AEW because you like WWE.
Yeah.
You don't have to hate WWE because you like AEW more. Like there's no now if you sat here and said, "Yeah, man, it was rough to watch and I just don't watch it anymore and I'm glad like this came out, like AEW came out and this is why I'm back into wrestling." That's fine.
Yeah.
But for you to be like, "Ugh, oh, you watch WWE, that's for, that's for gay babies." Like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't. Well,
First of all, how's the baby gay?
yeah,
The fuck? But
like I don't.
no, it's
It's
And
like
it's
I know
so-
there's just somebody watching this right now that is thinking, okay, he's saying tribalism, but Onyx only watches. I don't watch WWE
That's
stuff
fact.
only because I hate AEW. There's aspects of AEW I don't like, but I overall like a lot of the talent there. I just don't have fucking time to watch every single goddamn piece of wrestling that comes on during the week.
But I feel like tribalism falls more into the category of you can't uplift the company you like without shitting on
Yeah.
the company
Correct.
that's opposite. It's like
You-
we're turning into those weird sports fans that take it as like someone punched their mother when you talk about the team they
Yeah.
like. No, AEW don't pay me a fucking dime.
right.
WWE don't pay me nothing.
Ain't nobody sponsors this
like-
goddamn podcast.
But they're
I mean, if
also
you want
not-
to,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
hey,
but they're also not head to head in that sense of like,
it's nowhere
hey,
close.
yeah, listen, I'm a New York Mets fan, so when they play the Braves, I'm all about fuck the Braves, right? Because I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
that
we're comparing
makes
a major
sense
league
because
team to
they're-
a high school basketball team.
right.
Like,
Like,
it's just not the but it's true, and it's not
Yeah,
to
because
downplay
financially it's-
AEW, but they're not on the same level. You
Yeah,
know,
because WWE has had the time and the money and the
Exactly.
resources to build up.
and that's
Cool,
and
you're
that's
punching. Yeah, Tony
Like-
Khan is punching in a. He's trying to fight this like this is the Monday Night Wars. This is not the same.
no, I
The reason why
really
the Monday Night Wars worked because they were both building at that time.
yeah,
right.
But at
And
this point,
WWE
Monopoly has won.
was in a they were in a down stretch, and then WCW just happened to
Shit
get
the bed.
hot. And well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I meant, but when they started Nitro,
Yeah.
they were starting something. They were getting hot. They were doing a thing. They had signed Hogan. They had signed Savage. They had signed Luger. They had, they were making these big signings. And like, I could understand where Tony's coming from. Like, oh, we're making these big signings and we're going to compete. But bro, just focus on putting out the best product you
Yeah.
can.
And
There's
that's
nothing
something-
wrong with being number 2 compared to a company that's been in business for over 50 fucking years.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And that's something you
thinking
and I
that
have
you're
said,
gonna
is if you
come in
spend
5 years and take over the
Yeah.
number 1 spot, you're not, and that's not a knock on the company. Like, it's perfectly okay, bro. You just leapfrogged and then bought your competition. You leapfrogged TNA and ROH and then bought ROH. Like,
two companies that have been around, and it's
TNA was the number 2 company
for a
for a
long
long
time.
time. And they were doing bigger numbers than AEW has been, but also you're talking 10 some odd years ago where WWE was doing better numbers to an extent
Yeah,
than they are now. Look at it, if you look at like the fucking ratings for like Raw in 99, they were doing 6.4 ratings. They're not even getting fucking 3 ratings now. right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so obviously things have changed, but it's okay to be the number 2 company. It doesn't make you a shitty company. Like, nobody looks at a silver medalist and goes, "Oh, that guy's a scrub." Like, that's not how it works.
You're not first to last.
Right. This isn't Ricky Bobby. Like, it's okay to be number 2
Yeah.
when the number 1 fucking team has had
A
the biggest
10,
head
20-year
start.
head start, you know. Need more than
20
that. Yeah, I
fucking-
say more than that.
Yeah.
No, and
Like,
that's something you and I have said is that if you would spend less time in a competition and more time just putting product out,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, and
you would
that was
naturally
what we
find
said,
yourself.
You know, I made the joke about the Tony Khan Twitter
Yeah.
HBK Triple H feud. Bro, just focus on putting out a great product.
Be a
That's all.
businessman. You know why Vince was successful? Because he was a damn good businessman.
Yeah.
That's how he was successful. He focused on the product. And I'm not saying he was a good person, but he was a damn good businessman.
But
Be a damn
know,
good businessman.
because I think Tony just brought it up again, and you know,
Yeah. It
with
was
the
a whole
ROH
thing.
announcement, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, and Jim Crockett had to deal with this, and that's the second time he's brought up Crockett
Yeah.
dealing with, you know, WWE things, and it's like,
But now you have everybody saying, "Oh well, AEW's over. Warner Brothers is gonna buy the rights to WWE to Raw." He's just saying this because they're gonna lose their TV deal. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever, man.
I would say it's not a great look for him because I guess CW wanted to be able to air ROH, and he opted against it because he wanted to stay loyal to Warner Brothers. If Warner Brothers does turn around and ditch them,
I thought
it is a
CW
rough
and
look.
Warner Brothers were the same.
No,
No, CW used to be the WB,
Okay.
but then
Gotcha.
they became
Okay.
yeah.
I would say, and that's not Tony's
Yeah.
fault, but it is a bad look for Tony if they dump him after he was like, "No, I'm gonna stay loyal," and they were like, "Joke's on you, bro. Like, we're not."
We've decided to marry up.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Like, that would really
Yeah.
suck. Same thing with Mercedes, Sasha. You know, timing injuries. It looked poised for her to sign, and now it looks like she might not. Like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there are things that just didn't roll their way, and I do think that there are things that they let themselves get in the way with. Like gotten their own way with in terms of like putting them in a rough spot, and they are kind of cold at the moment, and WWE is very hot at the moment compared to, you know, 4 years ago. I mean, they bursted onto the scene. They were hot, like they were doing good numbers. They a lot of buzz. You know, they just need a reset. So as much as, you know, he shitted on Glenn Gilberti / Disco Inferno for saying that they kind of need a reset, they do need a little bit of a reset
Yeah.
for certain things.
Do like
you know,
WWE does. Do the day one, you know? Start it fresh.
But you know,
That one time.
That one time.
ditch that whole fucking devil thing. I can't imagine, Porto, that you think that that's going to end well in any way.
I hope for the best, but I don't expect it.
Right. And that's the problem. Like, you're the AEW guy sitting here going, I don't expect a big, like a good thing out of. Dude, 3 years ago, you'd have never said that.
No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have, right? And it's okay to like ride that high and be like, oh man, they're just, they can't miss. And I mean, they were missing, but you know, the feeling was there, and you're like, fuck, bro, they can't miss. And now you're like, oh fuck, dude, they can't.
They were
hit.
there. They came out as the alternative, but now
Yeah.
there is no alternative because everything is good.
Right.
Yeah.
So now instead of trying to be the alternative, you just have to get better. You can't
Right.
ride we're the alternative because the alternative is putting out great product.
Well,
Yeah.
especially like I do laugh because, you know, the whole like, oh, this is the company of professional wrestling, bro. One of the best women's wrestlers is doing a Marilyn Monroe fucking character, right? She's doing a character.
Yeah.
You got a guy who's over for fucking pelvic thrusting in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, you
have
can't
a
sit here and
manager
be
that's
like,
over for dancing.
right?
You
Yeah,
have
it's
multiple
Fandango.
dancing. Yeah, you have multiple dancing characters. You have goofy shit all the time.
Right. So
Um,
own it. Don't sit here and be like, oh, we're the serious alternative, the adult based, sports based. No, dude, just be what you are. You're another wrestling company
One of
that
your
has a different style.
one of your major wrestlers is a T-Rex.
He's a kill switch.
Yeah, he's kill switch now.
Oh yeah, that's
not
right.
gonna stick, right? Like, cause I can't do
Kill
it.
switch.
Oh Lord.
I mean, it's better than Luchasaurus. It is.
I liked Luchasaurus. I don't
No,
know.
come-
It's
we
stupid,
gotta
but I
dump
liked it.
We gotta dump the Jungle Express.
Jungle
That
Express.
whole thing's gotta go. Jungle Boy's gone.
Missed that.
Marco Stunden's gone.
He's the devil.
Lord.
Yeah. And I mean, they have used real glass several times. now.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
It's gonna be Hook.
What a
Yeah.
fucking. I saw what Dan Housen came back. I did see that.
Yeah.
Uh,
The team with the Von Erichs and people bitched about that.
I thought that was cool. I didn't even
no.
realize like the
But-
Von Erichs were still
Yeah.
like wrestling.
No, the whole thing about people on Twitter was, hey, do y'all think it's kind of in bad taste with how the Von Erichs teaming with Dan Houser? You know, the person
my
who's normally
God.
associated with cursing people.
Because
Oh
the
my
Von Erichs are cursed.
Yeah, I was like, all right, y'all are reaching. But it's
Yeah.
kinda-
People
like, if you
also
think
bitch
if
about
you think
something.
too deep into it, it's poor taste. But like they
I
signed off
get
on
they
this.
would not have agreed to do that match if they had had an issue with it.
Also,
Yeah.
I just saw that spot you were talking about. I clicked on the link and
Yeah.
holy shit.
That's bad.
So that's I mean
That's-
that goes right into what I was talking about though. That like obvious like okay, we
Yeah.
got to hit this spot. So like I'm just going to stand here and watch you fuck this up 3 times before you like
'Cause he
Yeah.
stands up and he's expecting to catch Vikingo, but then it's like, oh, he fucks up. And he just like reaches down like he's hurting, like, oh,
Oh, my
like, he's
knee.
taking a breath. Like,
yeah.
oh man,
Oh,
I'm
man.
winded.
Well,
So it's
ladies,
like, yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are going to wrap up for our last of the 2023 Cream of the Crop podcast. I guess we'll do this in seasons. I guess that would make sense. You know, by
Well,
the
I
year.
mean, we'll be back in January.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're just taking a break.
Yeah, I mean,
Roman Reigns
Christmas
in it.
is coming
yeah.
up.
We're gonna defend our title at Royal Rumble.
Kwanzaa's coming up.
Kwanzaa's
New
coming
Year's
up.
is coming up.
Gotta celebrate. But before we go, I wanted to leave some parting words, and I'll leave my other compadres here if they choose to. I don't want to catch you on the spot with it. I had intended to do this, but I know I kind of reiterated the start. You know, I genuinely appreciate those that come out and support this. If you do watch or if you leave comments, this was kind of a small dream that we had talked about doing, and for me, it's been really
For a
cool that
long
we've
time.
for quite a long time. And it's been really cool that we get together and do, you know, I look forward to hanging out with these guys every Sunday and shooting the shit, be able to talk about wrestling and games and all things we do that are nerdy. And it's been a great year. You know, we've still got a lot of improvements to make, but I think overall for 3 guys that have never done a podcast, well, 2 guys that have done kind of a podcast and 1 guy that critiqued a podcast, you know, to just throw it together and just decide to do it, I think it's done pretty well. I look forward to 2024 with these guys, and I'm sure they do as well. But thank you for being here, and thank you for watching this as we kind of learn and figure things out. And I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in 2024 and critiquing Roman Reigns some more. And I'll at some point start watching AEW consistently to give good rankings on wrestlers I don't watch. But yeah, anything you all would like to say, you'd have the floor.
I got nothing. You've pretty much summed it up perfectly.
All right.
I will say, you know, depending on whenever you're all watching this, happy whatever you
Yeah.
celebrate, whether it's
Happy
Hanukkah,
holidays. Keep it
Kwanzaa,
simple.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Hope everybody has a good couple of weeks that we're not going to be around, obviously, with the holidays. You know, we just can't get together because the holidays do fall on like Sunday and Monday this year. So obviously, it's like
Both
trying
of
to get
them.
together to record.
Yeah.
So trying to get together to record on Christmas Eve is not going to work.
We thought about it. We genuinely thought about it.
Yeah.
And I would say it was probably, well, I don't know what you all have.
I know I can't make it work.
Okay, yeah, because I know my wife absolutely. There's no chance in hell that I'd have got away with that.
I'm working that day, and then I got family coming in.
Yeah.
So like there's no way for me to do it. And then same thing with New Year's. I'm working that day, New Year's Eve, and I got family coming over. So, but listen, I know we appreciate everybody who's stopped by and checked us out. We're gonna, like Onyx said, we're gonna clean some things up that we got to clean up. We're gonna try and improve, get better. We're gonna do the social medias a little bit more for sure. Try and get that kind of rolling. And listen, we look forward to seeing you guys in the future, and I look forward to seeing you guys
Absolutely.
soon, so that we can convene, and I'll come up with that predictions thing, and we'll see where that goes. Since I got voluntold for that, so we'll we'll get that ball rolling, and then listen, we'll
Yeah. So
see you guys in 2024.
3 things to be on the horizon to look out for the viewer. Cream of the Crop YouTube channel. I know currently, if you're watching this, it is assorted on my YouTube channel, which is kind of where we agreed for the time being until we could get something together. But a Cream of the Crop YouTube channel will be coming. The plan is you might see us do some stuff that isn't just this. Get Porto into some content creating, and outside of just doing this podcast. Maybe. Olas and I definitely, because I think there was some stuff Olas and I have been wanting to do that I think this would be a good place to do it. TikTok, it's coming. Probably in the next week. And then social medias across the board, the Instagram, Twitters, or X's, I guess is what it's fucking called now. I don't know.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. I will shout that out everywhere I can if you are on my social medias. And I'll let Olas know so that he can do the same on his. But I say this like I do every week, and I mean this genuinely. I hope everybody has a good one, and we will catch you guys in 2024.
You've eaten your last yeet, sir.
That's staying in.